Drew Sanders, the Vipers athletic coordinator and head coach. Assistant coaches for the Vipers are assistant head coach, special teams, and run game defensive coordinator, A.J. Wood, defensive coordinators, Nate Griffin and Tim Spratley. Assistant coaches, Eduardo Banda, Ben Beckington, Christian Hammond, Gerard Hickle, Gerard McAllister, Jax McCauley, Paul Muck, Caleb Sanders, Bradley Shaw, Jake Billingham. Our athletic trainers are Chris Shivers and Linda Bowling. Our student trainers are Nicole Pearl, Katie Tan, Abby Salgado, Monica McDowell, Devin Singer, and Chloe Rodriguez. Wide receiver, number 82, Chase Phillips. Last. In your Vandegrift football starting lineup, wide receiver, number 82, Chase Phillips. Wide receiver, number 1, Robert Schulte. Wide receiver, number 5, Thomas Beakley. Wide receiver, Jack. Tight end, number 18, Arnaud Zaki. Left tackle, number 71, Harper 74. Right guard, number 60, Garcia. Right tackle, number 77, Carter. Mia Paludi. Avery Frollo. Avery Griffin. Carson Hay.
Welcome to Vandegrift Vipers Football on the Vype Live Network. Presented by our Playmaker sponsors, Independence Title, Wayne Weigelt with State Farm, and Chicken Express at 4 Points. Vandegrift Vipers Football on Vype Live is also brought to you by our Black Level sponsors, Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and Steiner Ranch Steakhouse. And our White Level sponsors, Amanda Newman Interiors, Austin Dental, Card My Yard, Floor Coverings International, Rudy's Barbecue, Texas Family Physicians, Texas Malibu, and Tiff's Treats. And now, along with Hank Hudson and Matt Sanders, here's the voice of the Vipers, Merle Bertrand.
There are very few things that Vandegrift Vipers have not already done in their relatively short existence, up to and including winning a state championship last year. But one of the things on the Viper bucket list has to be defeating Westlake, one of just two local powers along with Lake Travis that Vandegrift has yet to beat. They'll get another crack at it tonight as the Vandegrift Vipers take on the Westlake Chaparrals at the UIL 6A Division Bidistrict matchup right now on the Vype Live Network. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Ed W. Monroe Memorial Stadium on the campus of Vandegrift High School in Austin, Texas. My name is Merle Bertrand, joined once again by Hank Hudson, a lifetime Viper Matt Sanders. Brian Spiel is down the sidelines, and Christina Weber-Bertrand is our QA, keeping just an ear on the broadcast as we go old school radio style tonight. More on that in just a few minutes. But guys, in every other UIL conference, 1A through 5A, it's number 1 through number 4, except in 6A, where they split them up into Division 1 and Division 2, and that's why the Vipers are not playing number 4C Bowie tonight. But you got to beat them sometime, so it may as well be tonight.
Absolutely right, Merle Bertrand, and ask not Matt Sanders, for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee and the entire Viper Nation as you have a chance to notch up a win against a program you haven't beat yet. And as I approach the stadium tonight, there's something electric in the air. It's palpable. It's playoff football. You can feel it. There's going to be a capacity crowd here tonight, and the Vipers are going into this game with an opportunity to put their name in the record book.
Yeah, this is an exciting matchup. I mean, this is the cool thing about 6A. You talked about it's weird that you don't have the 1 versus 4, but that means you get really good first-round matchups.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of really quality. This is going to be a great game. I'm telling you, this is two just elite programs. And we've seen the Vipers kind of build up and become a powerhouse in the area, and Westlake's so historic in the Austin area.
Right.
Where now it's really cool to see these two programs kind of face off. You know, they both kind of mirror each other in different aspects. I would say Westlake plays very similar style of football to Vandegrift. They play very disciplined, don't make a lot of mistakes. And this is a squad that is talented. Talk about their quarterback, Reese Wise, who committed to Ole Miss, kind of going against Siadecki, committed to Kansas State. So then we got a quarterback matchup for the ages right here down here in high school, Texas. Game of the week. I'm so excited. This is going to be a great game. And we got a chance to knock them off, which we haven't yet.
That's exactly right. I was getting some texts from some of my colleagues up in Dallas and Houston said, wait, Vandegrift's playing Westlake in the first round? Yeah. That's crazy. But that's just the way it works out here.
Well, I tell you, it's interesting. The first-round matchups, it's the Goliaths, the superpowers. Yep. The irresistible force meets the immovable object. And, going into a game, there's going to be enough excitement, Matt Sanders. The players are going to be amped up on both sides. Is there anything different with the preparation going into a game like this?
Yeah, and I think there's a mindset switch when you get into the playoffs where it's win or go home. And that's truly what it is. And the great thing, good and bad thing about Region 4 here is that, this first round is always so tough, because it's like the two, just this last couple years, the Central Texas area, Austin area has just been a breeding ground for great championship football teams. And then we get to go kind of play in the San Antonio area, which really over the last couple of years hasn't been as strong. So most of the time, winning this first-round matchup, it feels like a later playoff game because the matchup's so huge. So the preparation in this week, Hank, is just more than any other week mentally. Physically, you're going to take a little bit of step back because you're banged up over the season, but it's a mental game preparing for something like this. And you got the whole attack squad practice team out there that's going to boost up the sideline, bring up morale. So it's a different environment. And it's definitely a level of intensity you bring up for a playoff game like this.
Well, every season we talk about how intriguing it is to watch a storyline develop over there. Who's going to step up? Who's the guy that we're talking about in November that we weren't talking about back in August? I think this year's different. Is it safe to say that the storyline is how this entire team has kind of evolved and come together as one unit?
I think you make a really great point, Merle. You're going into this game with your entire starting offensive line that you started the beginning of the season with. They were banged up there in the early phases of the season, but now you've got that unit whole. They've been rolling over the past few weeks, continuing to build momentum. Offensive line is a real strength of this Vipers team going into this game. Defensive line also a strength, but the Westlake Chaparrals are going to have a big, nasty hog mollies just like the Vipers have got them. So it's going to be, once again, Matt Sanders, the game is going to be won or lost on the line of scrimmage. Who wins that battle up front is going to take home the victory tonight.
Yeah, and I think Merle makes it a great point, as well as this team, seeing it grow from the week 1 loss, where we lost the drip, and it was a little devastating, I'm not going to lie, because we go into that game, and you're expecting, okay, this is a high-powered offense. They just won the state title last year. We have 9 starters back. This offense can't be stopped, but they come
what could go wrong?
Yeah, nothing could go wrong, but they come out flat. And just not their best game offensively, just things didn't go their way. Right. And it's just a young defensive unit, so of course they're going to let up more scores and have those mistakes early in the season. But as the season has moved on, offense has settled back into their form that we've seen when Teodecki is in there. Been hurt the last couple weeks, but he's back in tonight, which is going to be great for the Viper offense. And this defense, I cannot talk about the improvements they made over the season. They have 3 or 4 sophomores contributing. This is a young unit that if you look at week 1 to week 10, I would have a hard time where there's coaches being like, is that the same unit out there? They would be blown away by the work that the coaching staff and this team has put together at improving over the season. And I think Hank made a great point is that it goes with our fronts. Our D-line has always been a strength of our team, and as they go, the defense grows and gets better. And this O-line all back this week. So excited to see them and how they go tonight. Big matchup in the trenches.
Well, that sets the table here. As you noticed, there is no video tonight. The game is being televised by a national network, so we are relegated to do an audio style, old school K-Max sports style here tonight. But Matt, Hank, and I will paint a pretty picture for you, we hope. So we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from Vipers head coach Drew Sanders and get his thoughts on Vandegrift's wild overtime win over Round Rock and get his thoughts on tonight's matchup with the Westlake Chaparrals. And one more disclaimer, I had to record this interview over the phone, so when we come back, we're going to feel like you're transported to listening to AM radio back in 1950. We'll take a break and be right back. You're listening to Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
When you buy or sell a piece of property, it helps to have a friend in the business. Independence Title will pick up the ball on your transaction and take it right across the goal line. Independence is locally owned right here in Austin with deep roots in the Vandegrift community. Independence is also the Austin Business Journal's #1 title company. Work with the home team at Independence Title. Call 329-5299 or go to independencetitle.com.
Thank you to our sponsor, Wayne Weigelt State Farm Insurance Agency, providing insurance and financial services. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Please visit www.agentwayne.com for all your insurance and financial service needs.
Family time, anytime, always worth every dime. On our way is Chicken E, unbelievable sweet tea. Express tenders, they're the best, not to mention all the rest. Chicken E's the place to go for all of us in the know. Plenty of size to make a meal. Chicken E is for real. Follow me to Chicken E, gotta have their sweet tea.
And we're pleased to be joined once again in the postseason on the pregame show by the head coach of the Vandegrift Vipers, Coach Drew Sanders. And first of all, Coach, congratulations on winning your 8th straight district title. Just an amazing accomplishment, made even more so by the quantity and quality of the teams you faced over all these years. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, we never, ever get tired of winning. That's always fun, and then especially with all the adversity we faced this year. And I thought the Round Rock game was just kind of like an entire microcosm of this year's season. I could not be prouder of our guys, our staff, and what an accomplishment. Our community showed out for the game, too. So the whole thing was just amazing.
Yeah, and you mentioned that Round Rock game, obviously. You said all season that this isn't last year's team. These Vipers were going to have to really work at it. I can't think of a better example of that than last Friday night. Your thoughts on an exciting and really unusual 23-17 Viper win?
Yeah, I mean, whatever you wanted to see in the game, you got to see it, on Friday night.
And maybe some things you didn't want to see, right?
Yeah, for sure, especially late on the defensive side. But, we actually, of course, seeing our starter not getting to play, Lawson playing for a second week in a row. So proud of him, staff managing exactly what was tailored to his strengths and works for the offensive side when he's in. And they did a great job running the ball and doing things that move the ball down the field. And Lawson did such a good job of managing the team. And so that's one side of the story. Then defensively really played strong defense the entire game against two receivers that had given people fits.
Right.
And then, of course, we got back to our normal stuff of doing the fourth down. Somehow we just like to let people get in the 5-yard line, and then we decide to start playing great. But we've done that 4 or 5 times this year, maybe more. But was able to really lengthen the lead, and it looked like we were about to kind of go away with the game. Maybe 3-score win, and then just we got tired on defense. We gave up a couple of long conversions, had a 4th and 9 and a 3rd and 15 or something like that. And so they ended up getting the 2-point play, and so now here we go into overtime. Weakness there. And we blocked one, Brady. Sarncheck had already blocked one, returned by Richie. Richie got Richie got run down. He got tired. He almost scored, but that's a long way to run. But, to 3-and-out them, first of all, was a huge win. Like, that's a huge win in overtime. Won the coin flip.
Right.
And then was able to, find a way. Brady did it again and busted through, blocked it, and then this time Bugs picked up the ball and went all the way back. And so everything you could think of in a game happened, and I'm so proud of our guys and their effort. So many different people contributed.
Yeah, in all three phases of the game. And you kind of touched on everything that I had written down here. The offense, like you mentioned, stalled a bit in the second half, but did just enough in the first half. Talk about the game plan going in with Miles having to sit out yet another week, and how well do you think those guys executed that?
Well, we just have to go with what the strengths of everybody on the offense are. We felt like we could we got our center back, Chase Springer, and so that was huge. And we felt like we could move them, and we did at times. And so we just said we were going to have to run the ball, and we did that. And I thought coaches did a great job of picking the runs that we felt like would be successful. And then lost, the thing that we felt like was also we felt like our defense was going to be able to get stops, and so we just didn't want to give them any opportunities. We were just very smart with the ball, and Lawson was just very intelligent with the way the throws he made, the throws he did make, and just managed the game.
And you talked about the defense. I think Round Rock came in averaging 39.8 points per game. Vipers held them to 3 points for 3.5 quarters. I really hated to see them give up those 8 scores, just not only in terms of the game, but it kind of undermined a little bit their accomplishment through the first 3.5 quarters of the game. But the Vipers really made them earn it. To talk about the defensive effort.
Yes. I mean, I thought we just won the battle up front. It always starts there. They had a hard time there, and then, of course, we knew through the air they were going to be a problem with both of those receivers, big and strong. You saw them in person on Friday night. They're just really great high school players, and unfortunately 17th back next year, so I had to stop him. But, I thought they executed well. I'm so proud of our coaches. They had just an amazing game plan and actually repped all that stuff all week, and we were not surprised at all by our performance. We were more surprised by, giving it up. The first down up on, two of the two key moments where we really haven't done that the last few games. We did that the first game, but we haven't done it since. And so that was frustrating. We went back to kind of the drawing board and looked at a few things we felt like we did wrong and on those 2 drives. But other than that, or 2 plays, other than that, I agree. The defense played amazing.
And you touched on, obviously, the play of the night, maybe the play of the season, the blocked field goal. For those who didn't stick around for the post-game or didn't see some of the interviews, and you mentioned it a moment ago, that was not an accident because it happened twice in the game. Talk about the breakdown of that a little bit.
Yeah, so, we study all aspects, and I used to be, before I became a head coach, I was a special teams coordinator for several years. And so I've always taken a very close eye to all the special teams. And Coach Wolkine, who our current special teams coordinator is, he also does the same. And so I think that's why you see year in, year out, we have great players because we're building great special teams players from 8th grade, freshman on, because we know how important it is, and it can win you games. Think about all the games we've won over the years with field goals, extra points being made, kicks being fielded, punt returns, it all is part of the game. And so we found something. I was just looking at every aspect because I felt like we needed every aspect, especially with what our situation was being, not being able to score as much potentially. And so we worked really hard on trying to block things, field goals and punts. And I found this one play, only one, but I found it in the huddle game. And then we tried to copy it, and it looked really good during the week, and then the very first time we tried, we almost blocked it with Hugo, but Brady wasn't part of the block. He was part of the clearing group where he was supposed to clear the way for Hugo and kind of hit somebody out of the way, if you will. Kind of like basketball almost. You're trying to shield somebody.
Right.
So Brady comes to me after the first one, and he says, I think I can get this punt, coach. That ain't even this kick. That ain't even looking at me. I'm like, okay. So we look at the tape at halftime because, now we can look at tape.
Right.
With those new rules. And it's clear that they aren't looking at him. And so we said, all right, Hugo or Brady, you're both on this path. Either one of you can block it. And Brady was exactly right. We came through. He blocked the first one, and then, hey, I called it again. We'll try to get it. Worked last time, and you know what? It did. And Brady's what we call ball get-off, which is like his ability to just take off on the ball with snap, was tremendous. He blocked it with his belly. Like, he didn't block it with his hands. He was so far there, he blocked it with his belly because he was that quick off the ball. And then Bugs just heads up enough for the ball rolled around for a good second.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody saw it.
We thought the play was over.
Yeah. And Brady was actually celebrating. He's like, all right, done. We're about to go kick a field goal and win this game in overtime. And then Bugs said, no, I'm out of here. We're going to end it now. So.
Yeah, that was fun. That was one for the ages. Well, hopefully, if you need that kind of magic, we'll get it again on Friday night. Vandegrift Vipers head coach Drew Sanders in play for the 14th-time Trails.
Well, first off, they've got some losses on the schedule, which is
Yeah, welcome back. We're having some problems with the internet, which is really crazy because we're just doing audio. So we'll keep an eye on that and try to nurse it through as best we can here. You haven't missed anything yet. The teams are still gathered down by the inflatable. Westlake is on the field. The Vipers getting ready to take the field through Vic the Viper, but we're about ready to get this football game underway tonight. Yeah, so Vipers against Westlake. Fourth matchup between Vandegrift and Westlake, with the Chaps winning all three previous matchups. Westlake beat the Vipers 17-10 in Vandegrift's first ever 6A district game in 2016. And edged the Vipers 33-31 on a 40-yard field goal with just seconds remaining 1 year later. And then, of course, Westlake wiped out the Vipers in their last matchup, a regional final game at DKR, where the venue was definitely a lot better than the game turned out. But, there's got to be a first time for everything, guys, and hopefully the Vipers can get it done here tonight.
Well, we had them that game, the 33-31 game.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Yeah,
don't remind me. I was on the field
late
for that.
I mean, that was heartbreaking, but, we knocked on the door. I mean, we converted a third and goal from the 26-yard line to score a touchdown.
Yeah, and then we lost off. I'll tell you exactly how we lost that game. Their D1 running back committed to Wisconsin, very good player.
Yeah.
Nokia Watson.
Yes, takes a screen about 40 yards to get them in field goal range, and then they just drilled a very hard kick for
like a 47-yard field goal
for a high school kicker in the last second, won by 2 points.
It's becoming more commonplace now, but back then it wasn't very common for a high school kicker to kick a 47-yarder. So back here at Monroe Memorial Stadium in Austin, Monroe Bircham, Matt Sanders, Hank Hudson here with you. Coach Drew Sanders Vipers into the playoffs at 8-2 as they take the field through Vic the Viper down there going from left to right. They're co-champions with Hutto at 7-1 in District 25 6A. The Westlake Chaparrals under head coach Tony Salazar come in uncharacteristic 7-3 overall. But two of those losses were very close. So like the Vipers, they may not be last year's unstoppable juggernaut, but they still have that winning tradition to back them up. And that does mean something, right, guys?
No question about it. I mean, the Westlake brand is, entering its fourth decade. I mean, they've been playing championship football in Austin Westlake for a lot of years, and everybody knows who they are. I mean, they've got the marquee quarterbacks in the NFL. They've got players going into Division I programs every single year. Westlake is legit, and that battle with Lake Travis every year is one of the most highly anticipated, highly watched games of the season. And, coming in here, the Vipers have knocked on that door. And look, there's only one Neil Armstrong. There's a time for everything, a first time for everything, Matt Sanders, and it might as well be tonight. Yeah,
I think this is a matchup where, Coach talked about in the interview where, these are both teams that went to state last year, by the way. They both went to 6A, Division I and Division II state. Westlake ended up losing, Vandegrift winning, but last year, these were elite programs, and this year, they're still elite programs. Right. They're 8-2 and 7-3. These are good football teams, but everyone will say, "Oh, they're having a down year." These are two elite, historic football programs that are coming here, and Merle said it good. Both these teams have a chip on their shoulder. This is going to be a physical, violent game tonight because I think both of them realize how important this win is for their season, and just to not only extend it one more week, keep alive in the playoffs, but to make a statement and show that they are still that elite team that we saw last year, right? So this is a lot to play for this matchup as the captains meet in the middle to shake hands.
And the winner of this one will meet the winner of Brandeis versus Sotomayor. We'll try to get some scoring updates of that one throughout the night as a captain's meeting. Dripping Springs knocking off Vista Ridge last night, 38-14. First half of that one, very, very close. It's a 14-7 game heading into the second half. But the Tigers able to pull away, and they'll move on to round number two. And be good to see number 12, Miles Theodecki, back out in the field after a couple weeks off. Great job by Lawson Lombard in his absence to, Vipers 2-0. That's all you can ask for, the guy that's coming in after the number one guy.
I thought he did an amazing job. You heard Coach Sanders talk about the way he led the line and he, organized the team. He managed to, keep the calm and the focus. And that's the quarterback's job. I mean, that's the toughest job on the field. And, he did an amazing job. So, Matt, going into this game, is there any mothballs a bit for Miles Theodecki? He's had 2 weeks off, and now he's coming into, the first round of the playoffs playing against a mighty, mighty opponent. Do you think the Vipers get off to a fast start here? Do you think they're going to throw early? What's your thoughts?
This is the thing with, kind of you haven't played in 2 weeks, coming off an injury a little bit. It's I don't expect the offense to come off firing. Now, I would be very happy if they scored fast, but it's just – sometimes you just got to get back into the speed of it, especially as your leader as a quarterback. It's going to take a couple throws. They might get him some easy hitters early to get him going, get him hot. And I think we're about to be turned to the national anthem here, so we can keep talking about this after that.
Nice job by the Viper Marching Band. They are here in full force tonight, and we are just moments away from getting the postseason underway. 12th straight year, 14th time overall. And those other 2 times, Matt Sanders, the Vipers came down to the final week. So, that's about as close as you can come to a perfection record.
Yes, this is a team that over the last couple years, it's funny. When I was, we were first breaking into 6A, I would tell people, like, oh, yeah, I went to Vandegrift, and not many people had heard about it, even though we were, just still having good playoff runs, 3-4 rounds deep. And now the name has kind of traveled the state. Everyone knows about the Vipers. This is an elite program now, just name-wide, and now in the accolades after getting that first state title. And so cool to see that growth of the program.
Right.
And now where it's like you see Westlake across the other side of the sideline, you're like, hey, you don't think anything about it. It's not one of those things where
they're peers now.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
Not on a
it's
pedestal.
not like they're not on a pedestal, and you don't look at that game like, oh, I'm so excited to play Westlake. There's no awe of that anymore because you're equal programs at this point. So really cool to see that. And I believe the Vipers will be kicking off, which is great for what we need to see tonight. Because we talked about, Hank, offense is going to start a little slower just because I think Theodecki really hasn't had that game speed. It is a little bit different when you're a quarterback.
Yes.
The processing, everything, the action, all that happening for 2 weeks. So, in this defensive unit, from what I heard from Coach Sanders throughout the week, he seemed very confident in his game plan. And so I know he's hyped up to get his unit out there first.
That's interesting. I remember vividly reading the Austin American-Statesman the first year Vandegrift was in 6A, and they boldly predicted that the Vipers would finish no better than 4th in that district. And then you guys, Matt Sanders, you and your buddies went out and chalked up the first of many district championships. And, at that time it was the Vipers punching up. That's the way it felt. But, to piggyback on what you just said, now you've got that state championship, you've got a track record, you've established precedent. The Vipers are a force to be reckoned with. And so this is a colossal matchup tonight. And there's real electricity in the air. The fans are showing up. The stands are filling up quickly. This is going to be a big-time ball game.
It certainly is. One thing we're going to have to get used to tonight, there's a pause right now, television timeouts.
Yep.
The game is being televised. So kind of like a college game, we're going to have these long pauses. So that'll give Hank and Matt and I to talk about all the stuff we know and some of the stuff we don't know. And you leave it up to you folks to tell the difference, right?
Well, my biggest concern is tonight is going to be standing right here next to Matt Sanders, the former offensive lineman. He's not operating the camera tonight.
That's right.
And I'm afraid that he's going to try and give me a hinge step and try and pass block me during the game.
Mike a little fired up. I mean, I'm already feeling juiced up here. I'm really hyped for this matchup. This is one of those games you look forward to all year long.
Yep.
First playoff game of the season. What a great matchup. And, our district's really good, so a lot of the games are very competitive, but there are weeks where I'm like, all right, we know what the result of this is.
Right.
If the Vandegrift Vipers show up and they play how the Vandegrift Vipers play. But for me, I love the Vandegrift Vipers to roll everyone by 100, but it wouldn't be as fun for us up here. So I like a good game like this. Gives us a little bit more to talk about than how the weather is or anything like that. So,
well, something tells me we'll get the kind of game that you want tonight. The Vipers will kick it off from right to left. They're wearing the black jerseys with the white pants, big, thick, wide white numerals, and the black helmet. No chrome dome tonight. Black helmet with the Viper logo in chrome. Going from right to left, Breeze at their back. Westlake in all white jerseys and pants, blue numerals, silver helmet with the red Westlake insignia on the side. Ball set up at the 40-yard line for Wiley Olsen to kick it away. And the postseason is underway from Monroe Memorial Stadium, and that kick goes into and out of the end zone, and we are getting ready to go. We'll get our first look at the Westlake offense, averaging 43 points per game under senior quarterback Reese Wise, 114 out of 168, 1,803 yards, 14 touchdowns, 8 rushing touchdowns, but he also has 6 interceptions. So he's put the ball in some bad spots over the course of the year.
Well, we've seen this Viper defense over the course of the past several weeks become very opportunistic.
Yes, very stingy.
And creating turnovers, interceptions. We've seen more turnovers in the last 4 games than we see the rest of the season.
So first down 10 from the 25-yard line. Chaps going from left to right. Weiss in the shotgun. And a play-action pass right off the bat. Pocket breaks down. Now he's going to step up and scramble out to about the 29-yard line. Gain of about 4 yards on the play before he's wrapped up by Rohan Sturgeon. And that'll bring up a second down and 6.
Good early pressure there. Matt Sanders was only rushing 3. Hugo De La Vera Vasquez, and then also big number 90, Rohan Sturgeon.
Forcing Wise to climb the pocket there, and he can run. You need to keep an eye on his legs.
Second down and 6 from the 29-yard line. And wanted to swing it out the left side, but Sturgeon was in his way. He's going to scramble for it and pick up the first down anyway. That's an alert play from Weiss. He wanted to swing it out to his back in the backfield and had to tuck it down.
But the Vipers, including Thomas Foote there, was ready for that one, really kind of just looking at that swing pass like they've seen that on film. But Wise, he's such a good quarterback, tucks it, runs, and gets the first down.
Sebastian Hano in the backfield. He's going to get the carry up the middle, and he's going to be tripped up at about the 39 or 40-yard line. They're going to give him the 39, so let's call it 5, second and 5 from the 40.
Downhill running. Right now, the Westlake offense moving ahead of schedule, getting about 4 or 5 yards every play right now.
Second and 5 from the 40. Weiss, handoff again up the middle, and this time, break a tackle, get it across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Vipers had him stop shy, but the second effort got him the first down.
Well, they're really big up front. You get big number 73, one of their captains, Will Hess, and then also 57, William Twardowski.
There we go.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line. They give it to him again off the right side.
There we
tripped
go.
Up across the 50 to the 49-yard line. This is a different back this time, number 16 on the carry, and that is Chase Broadhead, just a sophomore running back.
Number 10, Thomas Foote, doing what he does best there. Limit him to 1 yard.
Second down and a long 8, short 9, just across midfield. 10-10 to go, first quarter, no score. 3 receivers left side, off the tight end in a triangle. Wise dropping back, pressure coming again. Pocket holds up, pass left side, sails and deflected for Westlake. That'll be a first down to 37, off the receiver's hands. It was high. The Viper defensive back went for it. A glance off his shoulder pads back 10 yards the other way into the hands of the Westlake receiver.
Just when you think you've seen everything.
I know, the Vipers won that one back.
That was unbelievable.
Right into the chest of Bugs, a.k.a. Tobias Gray, who had the return kick 6 last week.
Turns into a first down. Handoff left side to.
Well, if you watch Westlake much, I mean, this is the way that they operate.
Yeah.
They chew up, 3, 4, 5 yards every play. Look to hit a big one over the top, but they're just so solid. Blocking on the perimeter. The big right tackle, number 66 for Westlake, is Marlo Frederick.
So second down to 7 up the 5-yard mark off against the Chaps. Handoff up the middle and pushing the pile about to the 30-yard line. Going to set up a critical 3rd down and 3 as it was.
What makes the difference of kind of an average play or spraying it for 10+ yards right there, blocking downfield.
First down at the Viper 21-yard line. 7:57 to go, first quarter. Weiss, high snap, play action, looking, firing left side, got a receiver open at the 5-yard line and dropped immediately, but it's going to be first down and goal for the Chaps at the 5.
That's Newhouse again at 6'5". I mean, he is the tallest guy on the field, is what it looks like. I mean, he is, 6'5" plus.
I think I could hit him with the pass. I mean, what a target.
I mean, he threw it high, but how could you overthrow that guy?
No, you can't. Great vertical as well, jumped up, grabbed that one. But the Viper defense known to stiffen up in these situations. First down from the 4, first and goal.
Now they flip the formation, everybody to the left side, one receiver left. And quarterback Wise is going to keep it, and he's close to the end zone. Did he get it in? Not quite. Going to be second down and goal from the 1.
Yeah, this is Westlake 101. This is Westlake 101. Just chew you up the death of 1,000 cuts. Westlake can move the football in any situation.
Second and goal.
With what you scripted all week, what you prepared for, you need to get Tiadeki rolling, get his couple easy completions. I mean, I'm expecting a couple of the quick screens, the tunnel screens out to Chilton, something like that. Quick hitters, something he knows he can hit, builds up his confidence, gets it back going, and so he can feel like he's going good. We've seen Tiadeki when he gets going and starts tying a few completions together, he starts getting really accurate. He gets back in that swing that he's just we're just so used to how accurate he is and how good he is delivering the football. So I think that's the first thing. Just got to establish that rhythm, and I think, as well as getting their run game going. This is a front that has bullied people all year long, and this is a team that you're gonna need them tonight. You're gonna lean on this offensive line. You have to get this run game going to win the football game. It's a battle in the trenches tonight. And after that first drive, very impressed with the Westlake offensive line. Hank talked about him a lot. That first drive was a thing of beauty in terms of offensive line play.
But, boy, you talk about woulda, coulda, shoulda. That high pass that ricocheted, just ricocheted, flew back 10 yards off of Tobias Gray into a Westlake defender's hands. That would have been an interception. That score would have never happened.
Well, I think Burl, you were right. The Westlake receiver went up and altered the path of the ball enough that it threw Tobias Gray's line of sight, and you can't react fast enough in that situation. And what an unfortunate carom off of his chest. It bounced in like a perfect arc back to the receiver 10 yards in the other direction. I mean, what a strange play, but certainly didn't go in the Vipers' favor there. But it's a game of inches, a game of small plays like that. I mean, that could have been an interception. That would have been a big difference early on.
Yeah, it couldn't have just been an incompletion. I would have been fine with incompletion, but it had to ricochet off Gray's chest and then get them a first down. So just a freak play to keep that drive alive. And in games like this, you those little plays matter. So I'm hoping we're not looking back and thinking, man, if only you didn't ricochet and give them a first down.
So Westlake to kick off for the first time, and this one's going to be fielded by Brock Chilton at the goal line. He's going to bring it out to the 5, to the 10, and puts the head down and pounds it up to the 14-yard line. And that's where the Vipers will start their first drive of the night. Miles Tiadeki taking the field for the first time in a couple of weeks. On the season, 127 out of 192 with 1,545 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Justin Moore, 100-yard rushing last week. He's up to 635, averaging 5 yards per carry. And Brock Chilton, who we just saw on the return there, with all 7 receptions last week. So those are some of the key players we'll be keeping an eye on. Here's the Vipers going from right to left for the first time tonight. I've lowered my settings as low as I can go, so hopefully the internet gods will start smiling here. First down at the 14-yard line. Handoff, Moore. And he's going to be tripped up at about the 15 or 16-yard line. The Westlake defense giving up to 17.5 points per game, so it's a stout bunch.
Well, they play good on the offensive line. They play good on the defensive line. They've always got super long and athletic guys in those front spots. You got a 4-man front. It's typically what you see out of the Westlake Chaparrals.
2nd down and 9 from the 15. One receiver to the right. Now they flip the formation. And have 2 receivers here to the left side. Teodecki in the shotgun. Dropping back, looking. Pocket holes, now starts to break down, rolls to his right. Got some running room out there, keeps the play alive. Now he's just going to tuck it under and run and get what he can get out of it. Good coverage downfield for Westlake. There was just nowhere to throw the football.
Well, I thought a really nice job there, Matt Sanders, by Carter Mann and your right tackle. He blocked 2 guys there to allow Teodecki to scramble out to the right, and didn't gain much, but better than a negative play.
Yeah, that's a mark of a good offensive lineman, always finding work in pass protection. Did his job, blocked his guy, saw his quarterback in trouble, and continued to block with him and give him a little bit of a wall to kind of scramble out and pick up a couple extra yards there. It's now 3rd and about 8.
Teodecki in the shotgun from the 16-yard line. Play clock down to 8. Now a flag comes in, and I think it's going to be a procedure penalty here against the Vipers.
It's going to be a false start. Tried a hard count. Didn't hold our water in the...
Well, we've been so good all year in that kind of sequence, and last week, I should say, the Vipers only had 1 penalty in the entire game. And it was a holding call, no procedure penalties, and this offensive line has been error-free most of the season. A little bit of jitters. It's a playoff game.
Yeah, it was actually, I believe it was on Ontario Jackman in the backfield. So the offensive line didn't move, did their job, and just wasn't fully prepared. And right now it's 3rd and long, and this has just been so far not what you want to come out as an offense. So you got a big task in front of you to try and pick up a 3rd down here.
Matt, I always love how you come to the defense of those offensive linemen and make sure we point out who that penalty gets assigned to. I appreciate that all the way.
3rd down and 13 from back at the 12. See if the Vipers can pick this up, and now the whistle's going to blow. We're getting a timeout, I believe, called by Vandegrift. Yeah, I don't see a flag. So timeout Vipers with 5:42 to go. Certainly not what you want to see if you're a Vandegrift fan, to give up the touchdown and then a penalty, and now you got to burn a timeout here in the first quarter.
I mean, and this is just uncharacteristic from the Vipers, just any unit. In terms of, let's talk about the offense here. Procedure penalty, just what you don't see it all year long. This is just something that this team doesn't do. And right there, everyone is, obviously we don't have video right now, but on the sideline, there's just confusion about who is supposed to be on this personnel package. Multiple substitutions, and because the Vipers substituted so late, really nice job by the Westlake coaching staff there. At that point, they can also sub their players off.
Right.
So they actually subbed a guy off, and the defensive lineman who was subbing took his time and caused the clock to wind down, because you cannot snap the football until the substitution is complete if you just subbed out players. So I think that was a really good job by the Westlake team to take advantage of right now a confused Viper offense. So and so you take the timeout, and luckily this is the first half, so taking those timeouts early is fine for a big 3rd down like this, but you better talk about it. Talk about this first, what you want to do on this 3rd and 13. You need to pick this up to get momentum back on your side.
So early. 2 receivers here to the near side on the 3rd and 13 from back at the 12. Teodecki in the shotgun. Dropping back, looking. And to draw play up the middle, stays on his feet to the 10, up to the 15, and it's going to be stacked up there at about the 16-yard line. So just a gain of about 4 yards on the play, and the punting unit to come on here for Vandegrift.
Well, interesting, starting field position, and we're so used to seeing the Vipers get the ball with really excellent field position, and that kickoff fielded by Chilton, he caught it straddling the end zone. I don't think he had any choice but to run it out, and Chaparrals did an amazing job covering the kick, and you don't build a winning dynasty without playing good in all 3 phases. Westlake very good at special teams as well.
Speaking of, Wally Olson averaging 43.5 yards per punt, and he launches another beauty into the night sky. The return man retreating back to the 33-yard line, up to the 35, up to the 40. Good return to the 45 to the 50, and tripped up into Viper territory at the 42-yard line, but a really nice return for Westlake. Sets them up in good field position to start their second drive of the night.
Boy, the referee, the back judge there, kept his flag in his pocket, but I think you could have easily called a block in the back there.
Yeah, and that's a hard call to make as well with just the angle he's at. I agree that definitely a little block in the back, probably missed by the official there, but you hold on to it there, and it's like some sort of stoppage as the Vandegrift defense goes over to the sideline to talk to Coach Sanders.
Yeah, I wonder if it's another TV timeout here. 4:48 to go in the first quarter.
So let's talk about that sequence from the Vanguard offense. You know, they go with that draw play that last couple weeks has worked really good. You know, we think back when we had a Lawson Lombard at quarterback. You kind of rely on that run game so much, and there's multiple third and longs, but we go to that draw and we pick it up because Moore is so explosive and is able to make a man miss and just like find his way for 13, 15 yards on those type of runs. But Westlake defensive lineman, number 97, that's Colin McClune, did a really nice job of not being fooled. So as an offensive lineman, you're taught on a draw play to pretend to pass set and then kind of drag, almost pull that defender upfield with you and kind of push them past. Colin McClune's not fooled, stays home, and is able to trip up just one little ankle, slows up Moore, and you know, limits that to only a 4-yard gain. And then it's a beautiful punt by Olsen, but what a great return.
Unleashes a 50-yard punt, but a nice return. And, number 25, Aiden Mitchell was down on coverage, but, it's a no call, but, I mean, he, was definitely making contact in the back and diverted the player. So, I think that's a 50-50, maybe 60-40, call that could have gone the Vipers' way. But, and then, Chaparral's turned it into a very nice little, it's about nearly a 25-yard return, setting them up at first and goal on the Vipers' 41. And a big ask here, Matt Sanders, for your Vipers defense. We just saw Westlake only 3 snaps from play, drive the ball 12 plays and 75 yards. So your defense is going to have to step up big here on this drive.
Yeah. And here's the good thing. With the field position, they're closer to the 1-yard line.
I was going to say, yeah. They almost have them right where they want them. So it'll be first down for Westlake, going from left to right. 4:48 to go first quarter. Chaps up 7-0. One receiver left and trips to the near side for Reese Wise, the senior quarterback. Wise. Play action, going to keep it himself, and he's going to get inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Good reaction there by the Vipers, but he still managed to pick up about 3 yards on the play.
And number 19, Jake Venuto on the stop. The thing about Wise is, he's a bigger guy, and, we're getting to him there, but he manages to fall forward for about 4 yards.
Second down and 7 from the 39-yard line. Wise. Handoff off the right side. The Viper defense stuffing the play nicely that time. I think that was on the carry.
It was.
And it's going to bring up a third down and about 3.
By Parker Davis, Thomas Foote, and Luke Davis getting involved on that tackle. All the linebackers coming to the party and forces a third down, the second third down for the Chaps tonight.
So third down, a long 3 from the 35-yard line. They might be in 4-down territory here. But you got to get there first. 2 receivers left to the near side for Weiss. Dropping back. Good protection. Fires over the left side. Got a receiver out there. Did he make the catch?
He did not.
No, out of bounds.
Complete.
Might be 4-down territory, like you said, Merle. That time, Hugo De La Barra Vasquez did a big twist. He went from his left defensive end spot, scraped down the line of scrimmage, and rushed from that right side, Matt Sanders, and that was right in the throwing lane. I think he altered the throw there as he was bringing pressure.
Brett Jenkins, the intended target, but well out of bounds.
4th and about 4 to go for the Chaps, and they're going for it.
Yes, they are. 4th and a long 3 from the 35-yard line. Vipers have to stay disciplined here. Play action, pump fake, steps up high, deflected, and incomplete.
All right, turnover on downs.
There you go, that'll work.
And what a needed stop for this team. All the momentum feels like it's being pulled to the Chaps sideline there. Offense kind of just stalls out, 3 and out, and we talked about it. I expect them to start slower. Teodecki hasn't played in 2 weeks, and so you have to rely on this defensive unit to get a stop like that. Just what the Vipers needed right there to kind of, hey, let's chill out. We're good. We're down 7. We're right where we were, a couple seconds ago before that 3 and out. Right back to kind of a neutral playing state where.
But you're also 25 yards further up the field.
Exactly. So this is just what a great stop by this Viper defense.
I didn't see who got that deflection, but that's a big-time play.
So first down, Vandegrift at their own 35-yard line, going from right to left. A slight breeze at their back. Teodecki in the shotgun. Hand off to Moore. Makes the first man miss. Bounce to the near side of the 40 and knocked out of the 42-yard line. Best offensive play tonight for Vandegrift.
What a cut.
That was a nice cut by Justin Moore.
That is superhuman ability right there, Matt Sanders. I don't see you doing that.
Maybe my prime.
Wow,
Let's go back to my
my
flag football days. You never know. When I was 11, I was pretty nimble.
Right.
Good job on that left side of our offensive line. He's been doing it all year. That's big number 71, Parker Cecil.
2nd down and 4 from the 41 on the short side of the field near hash. Handoff again to Moore. Patient this time. Puts the head down and pushes it up to about the 37. A short gain of 1. That's going to set up a big 3rd down and 3 here for Vandegrift as the clock moves inside of 3 minutes to go.
Brought down by number 98, Alex Kahn. Their big nose guard for this Chap defense. This entire defensive line is all of large stature. Normally the Viper O-line are looking bigger than the D-line, but it's a pretty even matchup tonight.
Big 3rd down here, 3rd and 3 from the 42. One receiver right, 2 to the near side. Teodecki dropping back. Looking, pass, left side, complete over the middle to the 45 and down to the 41-yard line.
There's that man again, number 20. That's Marshall Leinenberger, and what a great inside move on an inside release there. Perfect delivery from Teodecki.
Viper's going fast here.
Going very fast. I didn't recognize him because it's too easy a looking catch. It's nothing
I know.
circus-like about it. Handoff up the middle to Brown. He's going to break a tackle and get inside the 40 to 37-yard line. Now the Vipers getting the offense cranked up here, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, as soon as you hit that first big play, you see the sigh of relief almost from the Viper sideline. Offenses really look like they're clicking now, going fast, find something they like. And it just takes one big completion like that to get Teodecki moving, get him back on fire, get him back in his rhythm. He's such an elite quarterback, and I'm telling you, the confidence builds after that one big.
What a perfect delivery on that throw to Leinenberger.
Yes.
2nd down and 6 from the Chap 37-yard line. 3 receivers now coming in motion to settle in on the left side in a triangle. Teodecki. Wraparound handoff, going to have the 1st down, I think, to the 35. No, not the 1st down, to the 35-yard line, though. A gain of 2 yards on the play. Thought he was going to be able to bounce it to the outside, Sam Brown, but a nice job there by Westlake to close quickly, set up a 3rd and 4 at the 35.
Saw a little face mask there at the end, but no flag.
Yeah.
Bringing Brown down. You know, it's hard to tackle that man, but can do it by his face mask. So he goes down there. 3rd and 4 for the Viper offense.
Big 3rd down right here. You converted one a minute ago on a beautiful pass from Teodecki to Leinenberger.
Trips wide right, nobody to the near side. Ball on the near hash. 3rd and 4 from the 35-yard line of Westlake. Teodecki with the empty back set, dropping back. Good protection, steps up. Now he's going to run forward, I think, and slides at the 31-yard line. They're going to spot him a yard shy.
Aye, what a spot.
And I'm not going to – I think the refs missed on that one, too. The Chaps had 12 on the field. They were slow to substitute. One of their defensive linemen was still on the field when the ball was snapped. No flag.
Oh, fourth and long one or two.
Long one.
Viper offense is still on the field, and I think
yes,
this is 4th down territory for sure for their Vipers on the Chaps 38. Need to get a big conversion here.
Yeah, and I think 2 weeks ago, Teodecki lowers his shoulder and picks it up.
Right.
But because of the injury, he's protecting himself a little bit more and slides there.
4th down and 1. Handoff Moore. He's going to pick up the 1st down. Almost breaks free to the 25 to the 24-yard line to the 23. 1st down Vipers. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. Let's see if we get another playoff here before the quarter ends.
They're going fast.
Hand off again to Moore. Off the right side and down to the 21-yard line.
Got him that time. So the Chaps, Vipers going fast here,
there is a flag.
recognizing they're slow on these substitutions. Really nice job by Coach Woolley and his staff recognizing that and catch them that time. 12 men on the field. This is what the Chaps love to do. They have a big stable of defensive linemen.
Right.
And so in those 4 down fronts, you got kind of bigger guys in the middle. They're going to get tired. And on longer drives like this, you want to substitute those guys out, get fresh rushers. As an offensive lineman, always made me a little mad that I'm getting a fresh defensive lineman. When you don't sub out offensive linemen, it's just not part of the position.
Hey, what about the job by your offensive line over there on the right side? 4th and 2, you run right behind your big right guard, Abib Garcia, and also on that right side, Carter Mann and Chase Springer doing his dirty work in there. The Hog Mollies are looking good against a fearsome Westlake defense. Vipers really looking good on this drive.
So we have reached the end of the first quarter. 7-0 Westlake on top, but the Vipers have found something, and they are on the move. So we'll take a break. Be back for quarter number 2. You're listening to Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the UIL, are the 825,000 high school sports and performing arts students in Texas. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, debate team members, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, officials, and adjudicators. We stand for the drummers, football players, and actors. We stand for the golfers, singers, and swimmers. We stand as the national leader and advocate for these essential activities and all who participate in them and make them possible, because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
If you or your Vandegrift athlete have suffered an orthopedic injury or have joint pain, let Dr. Matthew Crawford and his team at Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine take care of you. Dr. Crawford specializes in diagnosis and treatment of sports-related injuries with an emphasis on injury prevention and conservative treatments. He and his team offer cutting-edge arthroscopic and minimally invasive surgical techniques. Visit them today at austin-orthopedics.com. Let Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine keep you at the top of your game.
And we welcome you back to Ed W. Monroe Memorial Stadium. Merle, Hank, and Matt with you. Brian down on the sidelines. Christina monitoring the broadcast, making sure that we're all good. 7-0 Westlake on top, but the Vipers are driving. And attention high school football fans, don't miss out on the opportunity to be a part of Texas football history. Mark your calendars for the UIL State Football Championships, December 17th through 20th at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, where the best teams from 6-man to 6A leave it all on the field in the hopes of being named champion. For the latest updates and ticket information, head over to uiltexas.org/football. Again, that's uiltexas.org/football. You know, guys, I remember reading that last year, and it just seemed like a mirage, so far away, even though the Vipers had been there 2 years before. But, man, when you go all the way and you win it all, it's hard to get that memory out of your memory banks, right?
Yeah, live forever in Viper lore. And let's talk about, Miles Teodecki, what we've seen from him so far. He's only thrown one pass, Matt Sanders, but it was an absolute bullet on a timing route and an inside release to Marshall Leinenberger. That's a play you run on the very first day of two-a-days because it requires a very precision throw, and Teodecki looked really good on that throw.
So 1st and 5, the second quarter gets underway, the handoff up the middle, and going to take it down to about the 15, maybe the 14-yard line.
Tough running there by Brown.
Brown, yep.
Right there, and picks up about 3. And because of the penalty, it was about 1st and 5. So now it's only 2nd and 2 here. So, and the Vipers are right on the 15-yard line, going in. And offense has been moving now. And again, you kind of see them continue to lean on this run game, kind of slowly getting Teodecki back into that rhythm. Hank talked about what a beautiful pass he threw on his one completion so far, and you'll see him continue to pass more and more as the night goes on.
2nd down and 2, going from left to right from the 15-yard line, and pass complete to the right side to Chilton at the 10. And Wilson Famora should give him 4 progress to the 10-yard line. That'll be a 1st down, maybe 1st and goal from the 10.
Another beautifully delivered pass there, and I mean, he's not showing any problems with his arm strength. No. He's really rifling the ball in there.
That was a strike to his main man, Brock Chilton, who is wrapped up by 2 Westlake defenders, fights a little bit longer but gets no extra yards, but enough for the 1st down.
But not 1st and goal. They can pick it up at about the foot line.
If they get it right before the 1-yard line, they get another set of downs, which could be very nice here. Let's see what the Vipers have on this 1st and 10.
Chilton way wide left. And handoff to Moore around the left side, trying to get the corner turn. He will lower the shoulder to the 5 and knock that out of bounds at about the 4-yard line. He's so quick and so elusive when he lowers that shoulder.
What a great 1st down play. And Justin Moore just turned on the afterburners there, kicked in the turbo, and beat the Westlake defender to the edge.
Yeah, it turns into a track race there. Like he's around the corner on a 4x100 relay there. What a nice run. And that's what he's such a special running back, because not only when he knows when to just cut it upfield and go straight and lower his shoulder, but he has the opportunity and the ability to cut outside, make great jump cuts, and really turn on those afterburners like Hank said.
2nd down to goal from the 6-yard line. They give it to him again off the left tackle and cuts his way back up and spins, actually thrown over a couple of the defenders down to about the 3. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down at about 1.5 yards from the 3-yard line.
I mean, Matt Sanders, you talked about it at the beginning of the game. I mean, this is an absolute trench warfare. That time, number 71 for the Vipers, that's Parker Cecil, the left tackle, just absolutely manhandling the right defensive end for Westlake, and his running buddy, number 74, Will Wood, allowed Justin Moore to get upfield for about a 3 or 4 yard gain.
3rd down, let's call it 2 from the 3.
10 seconds left in the play clock. Vipers need to go fast here out of the huddle. 5 seconds.
They've got that 12th man on the field who's just kind of trotting off. Vipers didn't see him. And the handoff to Moore, and he's going to be down near the first down marker. I don't think he got in, but he got a pretty lousy spot from the official, to be honest.
Yeah, I think where he landed and where he reached out the football, he got that first down, but
ooh, he's a little gimpy here.
Officials choose otherwise, and yeah, he gets up a little bit slow, limping a little bit to the sideline, and that is such a big loss. Hopefully it's nothing major and just kind of got a little stinger there and come back in this game.
Well, here comes our power formation.
All right, 4th and a foot.
No, they're going to try a field goal.
Oh, they're going
to
try
to take
field goal.
points
Okay.
here as Olsen's on. This will be a 19-yarder, basically an extra point attempt here out of the hold of Lawson Lombard. Good snap and hold. Kick is up. And the Vipers are on the board.
All right, take the points.
You know, Matt, you said that this might be one of those games, one of those low-scoring games. You've got an opportunity to come away with the points. You can't take a chance not to get them, right?
Yeah, and I think it's just one of those. Your defense just had a great stop after the first drive. You know, they played lights out on that second drive, and so I think that's also just Coach Sanders having confidence in his defense.
Yep.
And you know, your star running back just kind of got hurt on that last play,
right.
So maybe you had to play maybe dialed up 4 more, and just decide. You know, honestly, this year the Vipers haven't been great at picking up those 4th and 1
That's
situations.
True.
You know, that
Neil
old,
King comes to mind.
Yeah, exactly, and that old. You know, that old power formation we ran last year for the state title game just for some reason doesn't work with this group, whether it's personnel or whatever, different running backs, different offensive linemen, whatever it is. And so they've kind of been struggling to find that 4th and 1 go get it play. You know, we bring in Brar a little bit for those short yardage situations, and he was pretty successful for a little bit, but then that play kind of stopped working for a couple weeks. So I think that's just a more conservative approach. But like you said, it's going to be a low scoring affair. These are two teams that, you know, are great. Not going to make a ton of mistakes, and so I think you just take your opportunity there to get points on the board, because every point matters in a game like this. And you kind of go back and, you know, you talk to Coach Sanders about that McNeil game multiple times. You go for it on 4th down, get stopped, like you said.
I think 0 for 5, if I remember right.
Yeah, and if they kick a couple field goals there, they win that game and become, you know, undefeated in district again. So I think stuff like that kind of sits in the back of your mind as a head coach, and so you get in another tight game like this where you feel like it's going to be low scoring, just knowing both these teams' defenses, and so you just take your points there, and I think that's the right call.
Well, I think you've got to take a look at there's a lot of positives out of that last offensive sequence with the Vipers. You take the ball 14 plays, you go 63 yards all the way down to the 2-yard line. You did convert Matt Sanders 2 4th downs during that sequence. You made a really nice chunk play to Leinenberger on the pass from Tiadecki, but you moved the ball on the ground. Out of those 14 plays, only 2 of them were passes. You really matriculated the ball downfield with effect. Offensive line for the Vipers is really doing a nice job.
So Vandegrift to kick it off from the 40-yard line. 8:34 to go first half, 7-3 Westlake on top. And Olsen set to kick it away. Olsen approaches and going to send this one to the 5-yard line, returnable to the 10, to the 15, and nice see him out across the 20, the 25, and all the way out to the 32-yard line. I believe that was Braden Riddle, a junior wide receiver, on the return, and sets up Westlake first down and 10 in decent field position at their own 32-yard line.
Number 99, Ryan Westerfield, keeping the special in special teams. We've seen him go full speed pretty much all season whenever he's on the field, whether it's on special teams or on defense.
Yeah, that was a high-effort play coming from kind of the back side of that kick coverage all the way to hawk down that defender. Save a touchdown there.
So
Chap set up on the 30.
Two receivers to the left from the 32-yard line, and the straight-ahead handoff. Nope, that's Weiss going to keep it, and he's going to be stacked up immediately. Good job there by the Viper defense. Not fooled by that play fake, and I think the first man there may have been Thomas Foote.
Hugo De Lavara Vasquez blowing that play up.
Griffin Gorbach getting in on the action, and that's 1, 2, 3 big black jerseys hitting the quarterback. You got to think they'll be a little more hesitant to call his number.
Second down and 10 from the 32. Trips to the near side. Weiss, quick drop. Pass over to the right side, complete at the 43-yard line, and the 45. Upended at the 46-yard line. Good hands there by Chase Broadhead, the running back, out of the backfield. First down, Westlake.
And that's such a great decision and strike by the quarterback, Wise. He just, you see why he's going to Division I. Throws like that.
Right.
Fine. He surveys his field, finds his open man, delivers it on time.
First down at the 47-yard line. Hand off, up the middle again. The Viper defense stuffs it again. Maybe a yard or two on the play. Going to bring up a second down and 8.
Boy, interesting route concept on that previous play by the Chaps. I mean, they're so good fundamentally, but it's just all curl play.
Yeah.
Right out of all stops.
Broadhead picks up 2, 2nd and 8 from their own 49-yard line. 7:15 to go first half. Vipers trail by 4. 2 receivers right, 1 to the near side. Quarterback Wise going to keep it and across the 50 and knocked out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Going to depend on the spot. Looks like they're going to give him a pretty generous spot.
Generous spot. He got pushed out of bounds about 3 yards before the first down, and referees give it to him. I mean, that is a generous spot.
Very much so. First down to the Viper 43.
Right there, you see Wise. He's really good on his feet. He has 8 rushing touchdowns in the season, and they could continue to use him in this run game. He's a big quarterback, so he can take a few hits.
Hand off, left side, Broadhead to the 40, tripped up and down to the 38-yard line. Knifing through was Colt Stevens.
Great tackle by number 10, Thomas Foote. Just a little too far upfield for the pickup of 5. But if Foote doesn't make that tackle, he may be going for another 15 or 20.
So second down and 5 from the Viper 38-yard line. Clock continues to move, 6:30 to go first half. Jamin Lopez in the backfield, the sophomore running back. And Lopez on the carry up the middle and hit hard at about the 35, maybe the 34-yard line. Sets up a 3rd and 1 from the Viper 34.
Man, this is a violent football game. We are seeing some big-time collisions here. Watching Westlake over the years, I mean, they just do not get bored with what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they are trying to fool you in any big way. They just line up and run the football, right at you, and they don't get bored with it.
They're bringing out their big, lot of meat back there in that backfield. 3rd and 1.
And the referee goes down. The umpire goes down in a cloud of dust.
High snap, and Weiss is going to pick up the first down inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. Almost spun free, but the Chaps keep the drive alive with 5:40 and counting to go first half.
Yeah, you see Coach Sanders kind of signaling to the sideline to bring out his beef package against their beef package, and right there, the Chaps win the battle of the beef, get the first down. And it helps when your quarterback is so big. You have an extra number in the run game. It's just a weapon that this offense is going to continue to use all night long. He's so good at picking up a couple extra yards here and there with his legs when he needs it.
First down 10 at the Viper 29-yard line. Weiss dropping back. Pressure coming from the edge. He's got to step up. Fires over here to the near sideline. A lot of pushing and shoving, and it's incomplete. They let him play. A lot of contact. Good coverage by Griffin Gorback.
A lot of hand fighting there. So that's their big wide receiver, Jack Newhouse, number 89 at 6'5". I mean,
he's got to be a foot taller than Gorback.
I mean, it's unbelievable how rangy he is, and a lot of hand fighting there. But if there was going to be interference called, it would have been on Newhouse, as you saw him grab the shoulder pads, trying to move Gorback out of the way. I think that's pretty tightly contested play there.
Yeah, I love that effort by Gorback. That's their best wide receiver, and that's just good on good right there. Great coverage.
2nd and 10 from the 29. Weiss, play action. Now looking right, scrambling right, in trouble. Cuts it back up to the 25. Going to blow the shoulder and get down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. That was all Weiss, just doing it himself.
I'll tell you what, it's amazing. You think you've got him dead to rights. Hugo De La Vera Vasquez took a hard outside move to contain him. He just takes it inside and rumbles, bumbles, stumbles for 10 yards.
In the red zone, first down 10 at the Viper 18. .445 to go. Westlake checking off the play at the sideline. 15 seconds on the play clock. 2 receivers right, 1 to the near side. And back split to either side for the senior quarterback. Handoff up the middle. Inside the 15. Big hole inside the 10. Still pushing it down to the 6-yard line, where it's going to be first down and goal for Westlake.
That's number 38 again. Tough running. You see why he's their lead back. He just can take punishment. Not the fastest guy out there, but, man, he keeps his legs churning. Fights forward through this Viper defense. But now, first and 6 for the goal.
Sebastian Hanoll stays in the backfield. First down to goal from the 6-yard line. Viper defense looking for a stand here. Give it to Hano again, and this time the Rugby Pals are still driving the power forward down to about the 3.
Yeah,
that line is just so strong.
Yeah, they're just big and physical and strong and just run it straight at you. And that's why they've perfected. They've got a system. Westlake football has been rolling for years, but second and goal, you need that Viper defense to
need a negative play here, some sort of tackle in the backfield.
Wise going to keep it on the left side, cutting it back up and pushes away to the end zone. Touchdown, Chaps.
It's not often you see a quarterback put his head down and try and run somebody over, and Wise is just a big presence and looks like more like a running back there, initiating contact.
Yeah, he's such a big body quarterback, giving fits to this defense because truly, he not only is he fast, he's got a great arm, but he is that D1 size quarterback. He's sitting back there, 6'4", over 200 pounds, and he will, lower your shoulder. You don't see many quarterbacks wanting to do that to get in the end zone.
Nola Bartley on for the extra point, and that one skies through the uprights. And with 3:37 to go in the first half, Westlake extends their lead now to 14-3. So if you're Vandegrift, you got 3:37 to work with and 2 timeouts. You had to burn one in the first quarter, remember. So just go down if you can, get some points, even if it's just a field goal, because you get the ball to start the second half.
Well, we've seen Coach Sanders and heard Coach Sanders talk about his 4-minute offense.
Right.
He's got different tempos. I'm not sure how many different ones he has. Matt Sanders, maybe you can illuminate us, but here's a situation we've seen Coach Sanders manage these situations extremely well. You take the ball, matriculate down the field, burn up as much of the first half clock as you can, and then you get that second half kickoff. We've seen Coach Sanders, the chess master, manage these situations before. So you just come off of about a 14-play drive to get a field goal. Let's see the 4-minute drive offense.
Tall task here. 4 minutes is plenty of time, especially with a 2-minute timeout, and you have 2 timeouts for the Vipers. So ideal situation here is to chew up the entirety of the rest of this quarter here and end with points. Even 3 you're happy with because it brings it to a 1 touchdown and 8-point game. So just need to get down there and get some sort of points before half because the Vipers get the ball out of half. So they're in a fine position here, but just need points on this drive from their offense.
Bartley set to kick it away. And that one's going to go into and out of the end zone. So Vandegrift will take over first down 10 at their own 25-yard line, 3 minutes and 37 seconds. With 2 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout to work with here to try to get some points.
Westlake always has a really good kicker. They got one in the NFL right now, Cameron Dicker.
Yep.
Number 93 for Westlake, Nolan Bartley. He kicked that ball through the back of the end zone. I don't think I've seen that very many times.
Wasn't Cameron Dicker from Lake Travis?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. That's all right.
That's all right.
My bad. But I mean, their kicker. do you guys recall ever seeing somebody kick it all the way past the end line?
I know. Great kick.
And handoff up the middle. Out to the 30. This
Brown.
is Brown, 35 to 40. Far sideline 50, foot race 40, 35 30. And can he go to the 10, to the 5, and down the 2-yard line?
What an amazing run.
73 yards for Sam Brown.
Well, we talked about chewing up the clock, guys, but that time Sam Brown said, no, thank you, gentlemen. I'm going to take it to the house. Gets all the way down to the 3-yard line. What an amazing run.
And what, by this offensive line, just a gash on that left side by Parker Cecil and number 63's out there. That is Caden O'Rourke, the junior offensive lineman, just paving the way for Brown. And I didn't know Brown had that gear in him.
I didn't either.
We've seen him rip off big runs like that, but that was almost outran the entire defense. The last standing safety for the Chaps saved the touchdown there. Vipers on the 2.
Teodecki up under center. Straight ahead, handoff into the end zone, touchdown.
Vipers.
Had a way to respond.
And they gave it back to number 40, Sam Brown. I guess he wasn't too winded from his 72-yard sprint. But, I mean, we've talked about all year, guys, about how number 40, Sam Brown, loves to run people over. The rolling ball of butcher knives. That time, he turned on the afterburners.
Yes, he
did. I was amazed. He outran nearly the entire Westlake defense except for that lone safety.
I was kind of, a little concerned. Instead of just running away from everybody, he was just going to turn back in and, hit somebody on that big run. But he resists the urge.
Olsen on for the extra point out of the hold of Lombard. Good snap and hold. Kick is up.
Good.
That didn't take long.
What a response from the Vipers there. So 14-10 now. But here's the thing. So a lot of time left on the clock.
Right.
So that is the negative of that big explosive play. Obviously, you're happy to get 7 points anyway. But the situation here now is, okay, this defense has one good stop, but 2 drives where they just kind of got driven on the entire field. So the Viper defense has a tall task. 3 minutes left. The Chaps have 3 timeouts. And in high school football now, in Texas, there is the 2-minute timeout. So there is plenty of time left in this first half. Viper defense need to stand tall and make a stop. Any sort of points wouldn't feel great. A field goal would then take away that field goal advantage that the Vipers took earlier, where they could go up 3 if they were to stop them and then get a score coming out of the half. So you don't want any points in this drive. Let's see if the Viper defense can come up and get a stop like they got on that second drive of the game between the first two scores for.
Doesn't it feel like we've pressed some kind of strange threshold that we have a 2-minute warning in the high school level?
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems so unnatural. But I think it's going to be a good development because potentially you're going to have more time at the end of the game, more drama, more heroics. I think it's great for the game.
I love it when they added that in the NFL. It made the NFL into games like so much more exciting. Like so many more comebacks, all this sort of stuff, and it just makes football more fun when the games are never quite over. If you're just a football fan, you want every game to be as close as possible to the very end.
Olsen set to kick it away from the 40. That's a push kick over here to the near sideline. That is going to land in no man's land and rolls out of bounds. That's a tough break there because Vipers had a couple black shirts there that could have fielded that ball had it stayed in bounds.
Yeah, almost. I mean, it's such a good pooch punt from Olsen. Hangs in the air for so long.
Right.
Yeah, and like Merle said, Viper kickoff unit almost able to recover that deep pooch punt, but just barely bounces out of bounds. So you're going to get pretty good starting field position for the Chaps here as it bounces out on the 20.
So they'll get the ball on the 35, is that right?
I believe.
Yes. So they'll get it there. And again, you opt for that, or they're getting them on the 30, so not the 35-yard line, which honestly,
that's not bad.
That's not bad considering what you just saw in the return before.
Right.
And so I think that's why you call the pooch. Westlake has something in their kickoff return team that, right there they just schemed up where they had like an escort of blockers with their return man.
Lead some of the clock off.
I would be very surprised if they call a play here before this 2-minute timeout as it's 1 second away. They're walking to the sideline. So 2-minute timeout here at Ed W. Monroe Memorial Stadium. The Chaps, after the Vipers had an explosive TD run, then capped off with a 2-yard touchdown run by Sam Brown. Chaps find their, just 2 explosive pass plays. They're already knocking on the door here.
Yeah, they got you get your Texas Family Physician scoring drive summary for the Vipers, because we didn't get to say it, but it was 2 plays, 75 yards. All 75 yards picked up by the rolling ball of Butcher Knives. Number 40, Sam Brown. He got 73, Matt Sanders, on the first carry, and then they went ahead and gave it to him for the final 2. But the Chaparrals take the ensuing kickoff, and they've moved the ball 52 yards in less than 40 seconds on 2 big pass plays and then a run. So 3 plays, they were already knocking on the door.
Yeah, it didn't take long. And again, apologize for the internet issues. We're kind of dropping off and on tonight. I've got everything set as low as I can get it. But it's a packed house. There's a TV crew here with a lot of electronic gear. And I seem to recall having this problem when they were here against the Cedar Park game. So just a lot of interference. We're doing the best we can with it. 2-minute timeout, 14-10. Vipers trail by 4. Westlake on the move. They're going to have it inside the 10-yard line.
Now would be a great time for the Vipers to stand tall. Again, like they've made so many good goal line stands.
Yep.
Stops and right near the goal line, and this is the time you need it now more than ever. You need some sort of turnover would be great. But even at this point, after getting the 2 chunks, you'd be fine with giving up a field goal here. That's kind of the goal for this defense right now. And I don't think the Chaps would, if it gets to a 4th down situation, I don't see them going for it. I see them kicking the 3. So,
well, one thing about this Chaps program, very much similar to the way the Vipers operate, is they do not turn the football over much. They are very much ball security oriented. You very rarely see them turning the ball over. A lot of high percentage throws. They run the ball extremely well. They don't get bored like we talked about earlier, and they just don't give the ball away. They don't beat themselves.
KP Swartwood writes in, says, shout out to all Vipers, especially number 14, Coach Swartwood. Defense rules, never give up. Last home game for the Swartwoods. We'll miss you. Go Vipers, G-E-A-U-X Vipers. From Mimi and Yes in New Orleans. Thank you for the email. Haven't been able to pay attention to the emails too much tonight with all the sledgehammer I'm having to take to the internet, but thank you very much for the email.
Viper D out there again. It's now 2nd and about 2. Chap set up on the 8-yard line.
Ball on the near hash. 2nd down and 2. 2 receivers right, one to the near side for Weiss. He's going to run it himself. And the stiff arm, he's not going to get there. Maybe even lost the yard back to the 9. Great penetration that time by Griffin Gorbeck and Ferenz.
And Parker Davis doing a great job taking up a blocker and attacking the outside shoulder, ran through the big offensive lineman, got in on the initial stop.
Well, here you go, Matt. 3rd and 3. This is what you're talking about. You get the stop here, force them into a field goal, possibly.
Yeah, this is the opportunity to get off the field here. 3rd and 4.
From the 9-yard line, 2 receivers right. Handoff up the middle and down to the 6. That's going to be. He didn't get there.
He's going to be short.
Wait, the ball came out. The Vipers are saying they got it.
Fumble, turnover.
They gave it to the Vipers.
Parker Davis comes up with the football, and the Vipers with an another goal line stand.
There's that turnover you're looking for.
Unbelievable.
What?
Vipers do it again.
Yeah, that happened in slow motion. Everybody just kind of standing around, and then all of a sudden it slowly dawned on him, hey, we got the football.
I mean, what a stand by this defense. This Chap offense looks like literally can't be stopped. 2 big plays, and they're already knocking on the door inside the 10. Viper defense stiffens up. That's what they do when they get close to the goal line. And what a physical play. I didn't see who the punch out was or even came with the football, but the
Parker Davis, number 6, got it. And Matt Sanders, I've got a question. Does the defense feel the eyes and the ire of Coach Sanders when they're inside the 10-yard line? Do they feel Coach Sanders glaring at them? Because there's some kind of like lightning in a bottle when there are big hog mollies are looking solid.
And it's going to be a timeout. I think that's perfect timing there. So, you're kind of backed up after the stop. And so as an offense, you want to kind of see the flow, how you're feeling on the drive. So you do 2 kind of conservative running plays, and Sam Brown having a monster game already. He's just found his footing in this offensive line, just road grading, as Hank said.
73 yards on 1 carry will definitely pad the stats.
Definitely brings that efficiency metric up of that yards per carry. But
Sam Brown got up a little gimpy after that last play. I don't know if that was instrumental in the timeout call, but we've already got Justin Moore kind of limping around. That would not be a good turn of events. Let's see if he's back out there. Yeah, there he is.
So you call that timeout because, okay, we got the first down. We can breathe a little bit. Let's push. Hit the ball downfield a little bit here. Let's still be careful with the football, but let's push and try and get in Olsen's field goal range in the half here.
Got 43 seconds to go. 1st and 10 from your own 21-yard line. 1 timeout remaining for the Vipers. Vipers flipping the formation, so now they got trips over on the left side. Teodecki in the shotgun. And now we're going to timeout
Westlake. There was some confusion over there by the Westlake number 19. There were a little bit of an argument between number 19 Eric Abraham and his cohorts on defense. That time the head coach for the Westlake Chaparrals, Tony Salazar, saying, okay, we better figure out what's going on here. Calls a timeout.
Yeah. I think that's, again, you're not really going to need those timeouts without the situation it is, right? So if anyone looks confused, even a little bit confused, you call that timeout on defense there to just talk it over. Vipers confusing them a little bit with, this is what the Viper offense has done for years. Really unique motions. They come out in one formation and switch to a completely different one. And it catches defenses on their heels sometimes, and that's how you kind of get those matchups. People will probably think, like, how does Brock Chilton always find a way to get open? Or you think the defense keys on him. It's because the Vipers motion him around everywhere. It's so hard to track where he's at because of how this offense is set up.
So 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Sotomayor leading Brandeis 7-3 first quarter. 3-0 first quarter. Teodecki dropping back, rolling right. Now back to his left. All the way back to the 6-yard line and just throws that one into the Westlake crowd with 34 seconds to go. 2nd down and 10.
Pretty good job on the offensive line. Again, Hideki had time to throw. That's a bit of a coverage incompletion there. There was nothing that opened up downfield, but the Vipers' offensive line is winning their share of battles up there.
Yeah, and I think that's, he just couldn't find anyone open. Pocket looked pretty clean, but because he tried to move around and create a play, then he kind of self-caused pressure there with where he was running. Viper offense 2nd and 10 here, 34 seconds left.
Bowie and Hutto tied 7-all, second quarter score. Bowie hanging in there against the Hippos. 2 receivers left. Teodecki dropping back. Draw play. And Brown runs into his own lineman. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. That's a play that works really, really well with number 3 in the backfield. Brown hasn't had a chance to run that one very much.
Vipers hurrying up a bit. There's 19 seconds and counting.
Going fast here. Going to probably take one shot and then.
Yep.
No, they're going.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I think they're going to call their last timeout here with just a couple of seconds left and see if they can get something. We'll see.
Got a specialty formation here, a bunch formation that's wide. You don't see that too often.
That's going to be it.
That's going to be the half.
So Coach Sanders content to go in the locker room down by 10, and I think that's a position play when you're down at about the 21-yard line.
Down by 4.
Down by 4, 14-10 is what I got confused there on the score. But, 14-10, pretty good half of football. I mean, this is kind of the game we expected here a little bit.
Absolutely, and the Vipers defense, yet again, comes up big because the Westlake was absolutely storming down the field. Looked like they were going to go in the end zone again. And, I didn't see who got the ball out of there. Parker Davis opportunistic. The Vipers win the turnover battle in the first half. It's 14-10, and some big plays, some big moments, a strange deflection on the Westlake Chaps opening drive. It's been a really good half of football.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where, man, you wish you could get that interception back because it just would have changed this game. So the Vipers get the ball at a half. They're down 10-14 right now, and this is kind of, exactly what Merle said. This is kind of the game we were expecting. Offense kind of, Teodecki, first week back, started a little slow. You had that 3 and out. Everyone was a little bit confused. You just first time kind of in a game we're back to normal with everybody.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of attribute that first drive, chalk it up to like, hey, we're warming up out here, go 3 and out. But then every drive after that has been really productive and long sustaining drives and in a field goal and then the long run touchdown. So been very successful so far after that first drive for the Vandegrift offense. So I'm very excited to see them come out in the second half and be able to potentially take the lead with a good, first opening drive. So, I think the defense has done a really good job considering about how high-powered this offense is. They're averaging over 40 something points a game, I believe.
I got it right here. They're 43 points per game.
43 points per game. This is a high-powered offense with a prime. I mean, this is an SEC quarterback. He's committed to play at Ole Miss, and he looks every part. He looks like Jackson, a dart out there, running it, slinging it, and this defense has held strong, only allowing 14 points in this first half.
Vipers are fighting. There's absolutely no question about it. This is a dogfight. It's a highly physical game. Matt Sanders, you said in the opening comments, you thought it was going to be a really violent game. We've seen a lot of really big-time collisions. There's an absolute slogfest going on in the offensive line and defensive line for both units. I mean, we're seeing, there's not any more dirt and mud, but if there was, it'd be flying around all over the place because it is absolutely a Donnybrook inside.
Yeah.
Well, we've actually got the audio in already that Brian Spears caught up with head coach Drew Sanders down the sideline. Let's see if I can get it here. 14-10 your score. Yeah, it might take a while to get up here. Why don't we go and take a break, and when we come back, we'll hear from Coach Sanders down the sidelines. 14-10, halftime here from Monroe Memorial Stadium. Well, we just got it. Let's go ahead and get it in before the band gets on. This is Brian Spears talking to head coach Drew Sanders down the sideline just a few moments ago.
Vype Live here with Vandegrift head coach Drew Sanders. Halftime, you're down 14-10. Your team just came off of having a huge stop on the goal line. What are your thoughts right now, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, we're playing really bad defensively. We're making unforced errors, all over the place. We can't run our calls. Then offensively, I think we've done fine. We've sustained a couple of drives, and,
It's come out in the second half.
So we are at half. 10 your score. Actually, before that, we'll get the Viper Marching Band if the internet will cooperate with us here. So 14-10 your score.
Defense is everything. At Austin Dental Company, we got you protected the same way.
We accept dental insurance, and we also have in-house memberships.
Regular checkups keep you in the game.
Cosmetics and Invisalign.
Ship smiles. Whether it's game day or any day, we got your smile covered.
Order online and we'll set up the surprise and take down the decorations. Order online and we'll set up the surprise and take down the decorations afterwards. Grand opening, anniversary, or any special occasion. Grand opening, anniversary, or any special occasion. Card My Yard. 95 franchises throughout the U.S. Now a proud sponsor of your school. Visit cardmyyard.com today.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
All to advance to the final round of UIL competition in San Antonio. Last Tuesday, the Viper Band and Vision Dance Company performed at those UIL state finals, a competition that showcased the top 14 Class 6A marching bands in the state of Texas. Out of the 246 UIL 6A bands in Texas, your Viper Band and Vision Dance Company placed third in the entire state and are your newly crowned 2025 UIL 6A State Marching Contest bronze medalists. To the remarkable students on the field before you, and on behalf of the entire Vandegrift community, we are so very proud of you. Congratulations on an outstanding season. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Viper Band and Vision Dance Company. The band is led by drum major Saran Absolu, Savannah Buckner, Jason Gonzalez, and Avery Titleman. The percussion captain is Caleb Long. The Vision Dance Company captains are Jackie Mendoza and Lacey Philpott. And now, defining the standard for marching bands everywhere, and for your halftime enjoyment, the Viper Band will perform two crowd favorite stand tunes, Hush and Still Fly. Let's hear it for the Vandegrift Viper Marching Band and Vision Dance Company.
I would say we've done a little bit of both. Because we played 14U. Actually, maybe that was 5. We just played a couple different places. We played 60, 90, and just a big jump. So it's good, but it's just different. You guys played the bridge? I don't know. I'm going to say no. I don't know. Better rules than you all the time.
The Viper Band is under the direction of Jared Lippman, Kyle Morris, Tristan Murray, and Trevor Leary. The Vision Dance Company is directed by Katie Hopkins.
All right, nice job by the Vandegrift Viper Marching Band. Third in the state this year. Congratulations to them. They overcame adversity like the Vipers have in the football team. Football season this year. Merle Bertrand, Hank Hudson, Matt Sanders here. 14-10 Vipers trail at the half. I did everything I could think of at halftime. Took the battery out of the hot spots, put them back in, lowered the bit rate down. If we were watching video right now, it would look like pixel vision. But so far, knock on wood, it seems to have been holding up. That can only mean the Vipers are going to come back and pull us out of the fire in the second half, guys.
That's exactly right, Merle. And I tell you what, I'll talk a bit about the band and the adversity they face. I mean, their truck that hauls all of their instruments and equipment was hit by a train. I mean, it's an example of how truth can be stranger than fiction. And then several of the local high schools and their rivals for the Vipers, Vista Ridge, a bunch of the Leander schools stepped up. And
that was cool to see.
That was very cool to see. Great sportsmanship. And the band overcomes that adversity and continues to do their thing. And the Vipers, Matt Sanders, are in this game to win it at halftime, down 14-10. A series of strange and macabre events in that first half. And the Westlake Chaps opening drive, that bizarre deflection where Tobias Gray had the ball ricochet off his pads, go 10 yards on a line, landed right in the hands of Westlake receiver. He turns that into a big play. And then the Vipers with yet another goal line stand to end that half and keep the score at 14-10 after Westlake had matriculated down the field quickly. They chewed up in about 3 plays, about 55 yards, were set up inside the 10-yard line, and Vipers stiffen up and create a turnover.
I think Hank might be stretching the definition of goal line stand a little bit. It was at the 6-yard line, but I get your point. It was a great stand.
I'm saying that's goal line. I'm counting that.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm putting that on the tally mark.
I'm outvoted.
This is a milestone moment. This is the first time you've agreed with me this season.
Well, what do some of the numbers look like, Hank? I had a chance to tabulate them while I was taking a sledgehammer to the internet connection here.
So, really physical football game. Matt Sanders, you predicted it would be that way, and it has absolutely been violent. Big-time collisions against two great football teams. The Vipers did most of their damage in the first half with the running game. Justin Moore carried the ball 8 times for 34 yards. The rolling ball of Butcher Knife, Sam Brown, 8 carries for 101. So he's got 100 yards rushing in that first half. 73 of it coming on a breakaway play where you had your left tackle who's been dominant all season, but Parker Cecil just absolutely caved down the right defensive end on that play. We got on the linebacker. Sam Brown shows us that not only can he run players over, he can run past them as he takes the ball 73 yards down to the 2 on the subsequent play. He carries it for 2, 8 carries for 101. Miles Chiodecki has avoided any sacks. He's carried the ball 2 times for 5 yards. Only 4 pass attempts in that first half. 2 completions, 1 to his favorite target, Brock Chilton, 1 for 6. Big completion to Marshall Leinenberger on that field goal drive where completed a pass for 21 yards on a beautiful timing route. And Matt, you got to wonder, maybe the Vipers throw the ball a bit more in the second half.
Yeah, and I think that's just something that, again, they're slowly, letting Teodecki kind of find his rhythm.
Right.
And I think this game you're going to need some big passing plays to beat the Chaps. So I do think that we'll see Teodecki continue to uncork it a little bit as the game moves on.
Vipers get the football first, going from right to left. The breeze is picked up behind them for this third quarter. And the kickoff is in the air. We're underway in the second half of football. It's going to go into and out of the end zone. Again, Vipers, if you joined us late, black jerseys, white numerals, white pants. The black helmet tonight with the chrome stripe. And Westlake in all white with the blue numerals outlined in red. Silver helmet with the red Westlake W on the side. Some scoring updates. Cedar Park trailing Tyler 23-14 at the half. And Hutto is leading. I just looked at it. Who are they playing? Hutto is leading 14. Oh, Bowie, 14-13. Hutto blocking an extra point.
You asked me that question. I'm like, yeah, could not tell you.
Max Preps is showing Lake Travis trailing Round Rock 24-7, but the word is that is reversed, so Lake Travis may actually be leading that game. We're worried about this one here as a handoff on the end around to Chilton out to the 28-yard line, gain of about 3 yards on the play, and going to bring up a 2nd down and 8.
And that's actually
that's actually number 5, isn't it?
Or no,
Thomas Beekler.
It is number 1.
It was, okay.
Chilton. But it's a fake end around to Moore. Glad to see him back out there. And then it's actually a forward pass, little shovel pass pitch. Gets there to Chilton. So.
I got screened from that. I couldn't really see that. Went for 3 yards, 2nd down and 7 from the 28-yard line. Dropping back Teodecki. Good protection. Now the pocket breaks down. He's got a lot of running room here to the near side of the 30, to the 35, and runs out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. That'll be good for a Viper first down.
Based on the spot. Yeah, they're going to move that one there. I think that's the right call. Give the Vipers the first, and they're moving now.
Heads up play by Teodecki there as there was a gaping hole over on that side. You're on the left hash that time, and nobody at home. You had receivers running crossing routes.
Shout out Caden O'Rourke with a nice pancake block, setting up that scramble.
All right, 1st and 10 Vipers. They spot him at the 36. So 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the near side. Chilton over to the right side. Swing pass here to the near side, and Leineberg has got it out to the 45-yard line. Nice pickup there of about 9 yards on the play. That's 2 consecutive routine catches for Marshall Leineberg. I'm getting suspicious.
Yeah, I want him to do a backflip or something.
I know.
When he gets one of these stop routes and now you kind of see this, as Hank was saying, you see this Viper offense start to throw it a little bit more out of the second half. They relied so much on the run game, but now they're saying, hey, you got to respect our passing game too, as most likely the Westlake defense was just not giving enough respect to what the Vipers can do in the air.
They put Chilton in motion to the left side, 2 receivers to either side, and it's going to be a handoff to Moore up the middle, and he's going to be shoved backwards. That should give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage, but it's going to bring up a critical 3rd down and about 2 here for Vandegrift.
3rd and short's better than 3rd and long for sure.
Yeah.
And Moore just couldn't really find the hole there. Had plenty of the offensive line does a great job blocking it up, but Moore, still looks like he's still a little bit slow off that injury from the first half, so hesitating a little bit on his cut there, and doesn't pick up the first down. So now it's 3rd and 2, and the Vipers need to convert to keep this drive going and keep the momentum on their side in this opening drive for the second half.
3rd down and 2 from the 44-yard line. 1 receiver to the right. Teodecki dropping back. Pressure coming. Hits it. He throws it complete. That should be near the first down marker. I think they got just enough. Well, a good job coming back. Is that Chilton? No, that's Beekler coming back to help out his quarterback.
There's the Beak Freak. What a grab. That is a super glue type of hands right there. Just getting hit as soon as the ball comes to him. Hangs on and then fights, makes sure it keeps turning in and towards that first down. Really nice play by Beekler to pick up the first of the Vipers.
And boy, Teodecki hung in there, took a shot. Trips here to the near side, 1 receiver wide right. 1st and 10 at the 46. Draw play. And this is Brown. He's going to be swallowed up and dropped for a loss back to the 45. Nice penetration that time by the Westlake defense. 2nd down and 11.
Looks like they brought the cornerback on a run blitz there, and that's number 20 for Westlake. Westland Merriman. And then their big defensive end, number 92, Jack Burnham, cleaned it up.
And this is what this Westlake defense does, and we didn't see it a lot in the first half, but now we're seeing it. They love to dial up these blitzes. They'll leave your wide receivers in man coverage to bring this extra pressure. So see if the Vipers can find someone open.
Teodecki dumps it off underneath, complete to the 50, and knocked out at the 47-yard line. Nice little dump off there to, is that 84?
48, Alex Paulson. I believe that
Paulson,
might be
yeah.
his first grab of the year. I don't think we've called his number yet.
I don't remember calling his number. I thought it was 88 at first, but you're right, it's 48. Just a sophomore, Alex Paulson. He got tired of hearing about how his classmates are contributing on the defensive side.
Well, the future looks bright, doesn't it, for these
Yes, it
Vipers?
does.
All these sophomores getting significant game time and starting for the Vipers defense and seeing their Paulson reeling in a catch.
Big third down here. 3rd and 3 from the Westlake 47-yard line. Trips here to the near side. Teodecki dropping back. Looking, pass right side, complete by Chilton to the 40. That ball was a little high and hard, and Chilton made it look easy.
Catch. I mean, that is absolutely phenomenal body control. I mean, Chilton can catch BBs in a hailstorm, guys. I mean, that was a phenomenal. He just plucked that thing like a ripe apple.
And held it through the contact.
Yeah.
There's a DB all over him, and he pulls it in, gets the first down for the Vipers, 1st and 10.
At the Westlake 41-yard line. Drive continues, 7:48 to go, third quarter, down by 4. Handoff, left side, picking his way inside the 40, and Brown down to the 37-yard line, gain of about 4 yards on the play.
Thought that was more for a second with
I
nice
did too.
little jump cuts coming out of the backfield. But Brown showing that he's more than a power back tonight with some impressive runs.
Vipers going quickly, gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Play action, swing pass right side, and threw it behind, almost intercepted. Tried to get it to Leinenberger, threw it behind him, maybe a little too quick for their own good that time.
I think he was expecting Leinenberger to get a one-hander diving catch there, and he didn't want to give him a shot, and give him a little free
You
catch.
got to wonder maybe if there's just a little bit of a mix-up there on the route because we know Teodecki is so darn accurate.
Yeah.
Maybe looking for him to turn to the outside there.
Big third down here again. Third down of the drive, 3rd and 6 from the 37-yard line. Teodecki with the hard snap count. Westlake stays home. Pressure coming from the edge. Dumps it off and deflected and incomplete. Had the receiver open coming across the formation was Thomas Beekler and would have had some running room, but one of the defensive linemen got the hands on the ball. Looks like Vandegrift to go for it here in 4th down.
And this is just one of those situations where you're not in field goal range. You're too close to really have a great punt. The pooch punt is an option here, but
he's good at it.
You're feeling the pressure of this Westlake offense, so you want to go.
4th down and 6.
Hard count.
Boy, had him to jump, but they couldn't get the snap off. Game clock down to 8. Now he's going to drop back and pooch punt. And a high punt going to land inside the 20. Takes a Viper roll. Going to keep on bouncing, and he's done it again all the way down to the 8-yard line. Miles Teodecki on the pooch punt. Man, oh man, he's so good at that. He's put now 3 out of 4 inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and it's so huge to be able to just pull that out when you need it because it's just all you need is just a little bit. You don't need the booming punt of Olsen. Just a nice little punt there. Really nice job. That's an athlete making a really great play. And it almost, Westlake looked like they kind of expected it, almost blocked it as they got a little bit of pressure on the right side of that little pooch punt. And that's the danger of that play because you don't want to back up too much where your center can't snap it to you. So you can only back up about 6 or 7 yards.
Right.
And so that almost got blocked there, but he gets the punt off, and now the Chaps offense is set up inside their own 10 here. It's really unfortunate, though. You have a great drive.
Well, you got 12 plays there, Matt Sanders. 12 plays, and you move the ball very effectively on the ground, through the air. Teodecki on that drive, guys, was 5 out of 6 for throwing the football. So, but things bode well for the Vipers, and you play in the field position game here. You need the Vipers defense to step up. We're going to need to get us some stops.
Yeah, and I think just an option, such a tough decision. It's such a long 4th and 6 too. It was more like a 4th and 7, and so you opt to pooch punt it. You trust your defense, and at halftime, Coach Sanders has definitely met with his defense and hopefully got them to readjust to what he was wanting to see in the first half because he's not very happy with them not understanding the call. So hopefully the halftime adjustments can help this defense play a little tighter. But yeah, you need them right now to come with a stop. If the Chaps go down and score, you're down 21-10. It puts a little damper on your morale, and the whole momentum will be on the side for Westlake.
I'll tell you what, we're being serenaded by the dulcet tones of the Viper Marching Band to Merle Bertrand's #1 all-time favorite song, The nasty song, as he called it. It's a metal shot.
And, of course, as soon as I try to crank it up, they stop. It's kind of like the dog barking downstairs. As soon as they get mad at it, it stops barking. TV timeout here, in case you're just tuning in late. The game being televised tonight, so we've got longer than usual timeouts. It'll be 1st and 8 for Westlake at their own 8-yard line. To give a shout out to my mom tuned in from the great state of Illinois.
What a treat to have your mom up in the press box watching
that
the
was
game.
fun.
That was a lot of fun.
One receiver left, 2 to the near side as we get back to play here at the 8-yard line. Be a great time for an interception here. Reese Wise, the senior quarterback, in the shotgun. Hand off up the middle, out across the 10, tripped up at the 15-yard line. Boy, that was close. He almost broke that one.
That was number 6.
That is Jaron Lopez, just a sophomore.
Yeah, Jaron Lopez. And, man, you see the burst of that kid. You see why he's gotten so much work in this offense. Just a sophomore.
Number 90, Rohan Sturgeon, got a piece of him there.
Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. Lopez stays in the backfield. 2 receivers left, 1 to the near side. Give it to him again up the middle. This time the Vipers stack it up at about the 16-yard line. So it's up a 3rd and 2. Chance to get off the field.
Man, what a collision. I mean, Matt Sanders, you predicted it before the opening kickoff that it was going to be an extremely violent and physical game, and we are seeing that play out in spades. I mean, this is absolutely a battle up front.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams so salty, coming in with a chip on their shoulder, and a lot of them have so much to prove in this game, so it gets so physical up there, especially in the trenches.
3rd down and 2. Drop
Pressure.
it back. 7 and
Got
it.
it.
Sacked. Hugo De La
The
Vipers have it.
Yes! Hugo De La Vasquez that put the crunch on the Westlake quarterback, and the Vipers come away with the football. That's number 10, Thomas Foote, with the fumble recovery. What a turn of events.
Wow, the sack was good enough. The fumble recovery is even better.
And that is just the danger when Hugo De La Vasquez gets a little bit too close to the quarterback. And, man, he hits Wise with a force, rakes down his arm on that football, and it pops right out. Thomas Foote, always near the football, always making plays, and right there, right place, right time, recovers it. And it's like the Viper offense just completed a big pass instead of that pooch punt. Now they're set up 1st and 10 on
13?
the 12. Yeah, about 12 or 13.
With trips here to the near side. Got to capitalize. Handoff. This is Moore back in the ball game, and he's hit hard. He looks like he's limping to me.
Yes, I think at this point you gotta pull him out and put Brown in. It's that he just looks like he's not full speed. And
2nd down and 10 coming up.
You know, before he hurt his ankle there, he gets that corner. You know,
yeah,
you can
exactly.
see the difference in speed from the injury on that play. 2nd and 11.
Back at the 13-yard line. 5:34 to go, 3rd quarter. 2 receivers here to the near side. Teodecki swings to the left side and complete inside the 10, looking for yardage, and Chilton knocked down at the 8-yard line, slammed to the turf. So it's up a 3rd down at about 6 from the 8.
I'll tell you what, that's a great little tunnel screen. That's not a play we've seen in that short slot like that. A nice wrinkle from the Vipers. We're seeing a lot of variety on offense, Matt Sanders, in terms of the formations, the shifts, giving the Westlake Chaparrals a lot to think about.
Yeah, and that's one of those tackle was super aggressive. It was a suplex over the head of the defender, and so depending on the ref crew,
that could have been called.
They're going to call that unnecessary roughness. But tonight, really not throwing a ton of flags, so they're letting them play. They know it's going to be physical.
3rd and 6. Teodecki in the shotgun. Ball spotted at the 8-yard line. They can pick up the 1st down at the 2. And the play clock ticks down to 0. And delay game call on the Vipers.
Gosh.
But the coaches I don't think they set the full play clock up.
I think you're right. I mean, that was a quick 40 seconds.
After the penalty. And
Coach Sanders talking to the line judge here about that.
Some words with the ref crew. But that is disastrous. You go from 3rd and 6 on the 7 to 3rd and 11.
It does open up some
13.
more space now, maybe. That's the optimism me coming out. An empty back set now for Teodecki. Dropping back, pass to the left side, and overshoots his target, incomplete. Try to get to Leineberger. So 4th down coming up. The Vipers will have to try the field goal. 4th down coming up.
I think
that was a really strange sequence there because I think you're exactly right, Merle Bertrand. I don't think they got the play clock reset to the full 40 seconds.
Instead, it's going to be a 30-yard field goal attempt here for Wiley Olson. Olson on the season, 9 out of 10 with a long of 44. Out of the hold of Lombard, just inside the near hash. Wind at his back. Good low snap, good hold. The kick is up, got plenty of leg.
Good.
And it is good. We have got a 1-point game.
Well, you wanted 7 there on the short field. You take over after the big turnover. Hugo de la Vera Vasquez knocking the ball loose. Thomas Foote recover, but you didn't get a good sequence there. Maybe unfortunate, or I'm not sure what was going on with the play clock on that delay of game. 14-13.
Yeah, coach is still talking to the officials.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
I mean, it's such a disastrous penalty because you go from 3rd and 6, which, and you're right there on about the 8-yard line, 7 or 8 yard line.
Right.
The options you have as an offensive coordinator to not only you can pick up that first down and you have the option to score from about 7 yards out.
Right.
Your entire kind of red zone and in plays inside the 10 are at your disposal, and then when you get backed up, you're forced to have to throw for the sticks. And so the defense knows it at that point. So they're playing right there for that first down and just doesn't quite, get the ball there. It's a really tough throw across the field and just doesn't get it to Lindenberger. And so I almost thought he was going to come down with it with how many spectacular catches he's had this season, but doesn't come down. And man, it's so frustrating to not come up with.
I know.
You get a short field, you're already in the red zone when you get the football, and because of a penalty, you only come up with 3. It's really frustrating.
Boy, got a knock on the window from an old school Viper, Mr. Tim Prukup, father of quarterback 1, QB1, Dakota Prukup, part of the original Vipers, and Tim was responsible for getting Vandegrift football on the old K-Max Sports. Good to see him again. While when my mom was here, we kind of walked through the halls and looking at the pictures of that first set of Vipers. When you see it like that, how far this program has come in a relatively short period of time.
Well, there can be only one first guy to do anything, one first team. That's the very first Viper squad.
Yeah.
Merle Bertrand, you've been here since the birth of the program, and what a distance they have traveled in that time. It's really amazing.
And they're 1 point away from knocking off Westlake.
Oh, my goodness.
They've got 60 minutes and 28 seconds to come up with that point.
Vipers' defense is feisty. You've got to like the pressure you're getting. I mean, we're not bringing a ton of guys. I think that was a 4-man rush. I think Rohan Sturgeon, the right defensive end, created the initial pressure, and then I wouldn't want Hugo de la Vera Vasquez running into me at full speed, and he jarred the ball loose. Vipers opportunistic. 2 turnovers. You're winning the turnover battle. You're down 1 point. We got us a football game.
Vipers set to kick it away from the 40-yard line. 4 minutes, 28 seconds to go in this third quarter. Westlake 14, Vandegrift 13. Westlake has led all the way, but the Vipers have hung right in there against them. We'll see if Olson drills this one out of the end zone with the wind at his back. The wind has actually picked up quite a bit now. It was kind of limp at the start, but the flags are at right angles now, going from right to left. And this kickoff is going to sail 2 yards out of the end zone. He's going to bring it out to the goal line of the 5.
Blocking the back.
To the 10, up to the 15, got a seam to the 20, and tripped up at the 25-yard line. So right about where he would have been had he just taken a knee out there. Nice return, but sets him up at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, a couple, Hanks seeing a couple blocking the backs there that just aren't being called, that are kind of springing these returns for a little more than they should be right now.
Rhett Jenkins on that return.
So I think, obviously the last pooch kick went out of bounds, but I think you're going to see the Vipers kind of go back to that because they're just not calling these blocking the backs, and you're giving up opportunities to return for a touchdown. You just cannot let that happen in a game like this.
So Westlake takes over, 1st and 10. They spot him at the 26, ball in the far hash going from left to right. Weiss in the shotgun. Viper fans below making a lot of noise. Weiss dropping back. Pressure coming from the edge. Flushed out of the pocket. Rolls to his left. Fires left side. Got a receiver out there to the 30. And out at about the 37-yard line. That's going to be good for a first down. Nice job by the receiver coming back to bail out his quarterback.
And dropped by Colt Stevens, a sophomore defensive back. And right there, the pressure gets there to Wise, but just kind of falls down, doesn't quite hang on to him.
Yeah.
And he's able to stay upright and dump off right underneath. And so late in the play, no one's really covering that leak route, and he's able to run forward for the first.
Picks up 11, first and 10 at the 37-yard line. Weiss. Hand off right side, out across the 40, up to the 43-yard line. And a flag comes flying in late. Maybe this will be a hold.
Yeah, I think we're going to get
Jaron Lopez on the carry, but we'll check the flag.
Yeah, it looks like they're motioning a hold. And you saw it kind of on the edge there. One of the wide receivers just held their block a little bit too long.
No, Thomas Foote is playing sideline to sideline today, guys. I mean, that's, he won't get credit for that tackle because of the holding penalty, but I mean, he is flying all over the field. Huge fumble recovery from number 10. Vipers defense is feisty. We got a big time high school football game going on here. First round of the playoffs. What a colossal matchup.
Yes, it is. Now the question is this going to be first and 20 or was it a spot foul? The flag came in pretty late.
Spot foul, so they're going to back him up from about the 5. So it'll be first and about 15 here.
Right.
Because it was the wide receiver blocking downfield
right.
that got them on the holding call.
Yeah, so they put him at the 32. So, yeah, first and 15 from the 32-yard line after the mark-off. Trips wide left. Oh, hard snap count, and the Vipers jump all sides, and that'll give the 5 yards right back.
Yeah, and it's like it never happened. Back to first and 10. Just a hard snap count. Both these teams have been, today so good at just like trying to get both teams to jump, and normally both teams are so disciplined with that. Don't see them jumping off sides very often, so right there, hard snap gets them and gives them their 5 yard back. So now it's first and 10.
First and 10.
Right back where we started from at the 37-yard line.
First and 10, do it again.
3:41 to go, third quarter. 1 point game. Trips wide left, one to the near side. Ball on the near hash for Westlake. Weiss, quarterback draw up the middle, out across the 40. Nice little bounce to the outside and lunges out to the 46-yard line. It was Brady Cernchik on the stop, and not before a 9-yard pickup and a second down and 1 coming up for Westlake.
Well, he is a load. Doesn't look like a quarterback when he carries the ball.
No.
I mean, he really puts his head down and goes north to south.
Trips wide left, one to the near side. Weiss in the shotgun, dropping back on 2nd and 1. Now stepping up, flushed out of the pocket, being pursued by Benuto. Pass left side, caught at the 31-yard line and out of bounds.
Well, great nonverbal communication there between the quarterback,
that man
Weiss,
again,
and then it's the big receiver, the 6'5" Jack Newhouse. He was running a crossing route, saw his quarterback scrambling, and turned that route upfield straight down the sideline. So great communication there by the quarterback and wide receiver for Westlake.
Westlake has it at the Viper 30 with 2:45 to go. One receiver left, two to the near side. Hand off up the middle and swallowed up immediately. Good penetration there by the Vandegrift defense. Lopez on the carry, had nowhere to go.
Vipers saw something there with the formation, tipped their hat, and you saw the entire defense kind of shift into the box, knowing it was a run play, and absolutely crushed for no gain. Second, or maybe they got a yard. So 2nd and 9 here. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third quarter.
2 receivers left and 2 to the right. 2nd down and 9 from the Viper 30. Dropping back Weiss. Pressure coming, steps up. In trouble. He is going to go down. Going to be a sack. About 3 or 4 Vipers got him.
I think it was Parker Davis who came like a missile off that left edge, put the initial pressure on, and then this drove him into the waiting arms of number 19, Jake Venuto. Great team defense by the Vipers. You got him in a 3rd and long.
3rd and 11, back to the 32 now. Chaps probably in 4-down territory. 4 receivers lined up here to the near side. Weiss dropping back, pump fake, stepping up, fires over to the right side, and intercepted. The 3rd turnover of the game.
It's the sophomore.
Cole Stevens again.
3 turnovers for this Vipers defense. What a performance so far.
I said at the beginning he had 6 interceptions. He almost had one that we got that lucky ricochet.
Yes, and right there, pressure gets there. Thomas Foote once again tasked with blitzing off the edge. Kind of hits Wise in the throwing motion, so it comes out a little bit inaccurate. And Cole Stevens has turned into a
offensive coordinator A.J. Woolley's got to be looking at number 23, the sophomore, and thinking maybe we should put him on few offensive reps. I mean, he laid out for that ball.
He's going to have to have an arm wrestling contest with Nate Griffin and Tim Spradlin. Who's going to get him next year? Vipers take over 1st and 10 at their own 12. 1:31 to go, third quarter. Vipers down by 1, but have the football back. In the backfield is Sam Brown. Trips wide right. Brown up the middle, and he is not going to have much running to him. Maybe the line of scrimmage, and that's about it, 2nd and 10.
That's that corner stab again off of the naked side of the formation.
Number 24.
Yeah,
for the
Vipers shift and go into motion, put everybody on the right side, so it looks like the Chaps are bringing that corner back every single time that the Vipers do that.
Cedar Park has pulled to within 1 against Tyler. 23-22, late third quarter. 2 receivers wide right. That sounds familiar. Down by 1. 3 receivers lined up on the left side. Teodecki on the empty back set, dropping back. And fires and incomplete in the flag down.
It's going to be holding.
Holding, yeah.
Just a lot of pressure. I mean, and this is what this Westlake defense does. We talked about it, and it seems like they're going to it all this second half. They are a team that loves to bring extra guys to help out and rush this quarterback's process. And tonight, Vipers just have to find a way to, identify the pressure early and then pick it up.
Yeah.
So right there, it's just one of those. Yeah, it's going to be declined, so they want that 3rd and long.
Yeah.
And it's going to be one of those situations where, as an offensive lineman, you almost have to hold because immediately Springer's kind of beat on his rep because there's so much pressure coming on that right side. He's left in an awkward one-on-one situation. Yeah. And so you just have to not let him get to your quarterback and just hope you don't get called. Unfortunately, the ref sees it. So 3rd and 12.
Tough position here for the Viper offense. Back at their 10-yard line. 2 receivers wide right, 1 to the near side. Teodecki in the shotgun. Dropping back. Setting up a screen pass, complete. Up to the 15, and hit from behind. Falls forward to about the 20-yard line. A couple yards shy of the first down, so it's going to bring up the punting unit again here as the third quarter looks like it's going to expire.
Is that Leinenberger again on the reception?
I think it was.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's, turning into an interesting affair here. The Vipers
trying to get this punt off with the wind at their back. They're trying to hurry. 4 seconds. 3, 2. They're not going to get it.
Timeout, Westlake. Okay, this is
That's a weird timeout for Westlake.
Yes, it's maybe they just didn't expect the Vipers to go fast. They don't have their punt return unit set, and so that is a really good opportunity to just get them to force timeout.
That's right.
This is a game where those timeouts are going to matter. So you're now down a timeout where it's a 1-point game as we're moving into the fourth quarter. You're going to need all 3. And so using it right there, really nice job by the Viper special teams unit, recognizing it. Hey, we can get set, get this punt off fast.
Right.
And like Merle said, with the wind at their back.
And it's gusting. It's really blowing now.
Really allows. But now they stop the clock so the Vipers don't have to rush. Get a nice punt.
Right.
Here with Olsen's huge leg. And I think that's why I don't really agree with this timeout because worst case scenario, you just let the punt kind of go over your head. They're punting on the 19, their own 19. So I just don't. I mean, they've had some good returns today, but nothing on the punt side, nothing too crazy. They've had some good kickoff returns, so I just don't know if that was valuable enough to waste the time out there in this type of game.
So we'll see if Olsen can launch one here. 2 seconds on the game clock here in this third quarter. Nobody back to receive it.
Has nobody back on 4th and 4.
Good snap back, and really no pressure. I don't understand that either. It's going to land at the 40 and takes a Viper roll. What a roll. 25, bouncing down to the 21-yard line. So 29, 39, 49, 59, about a, 65-yard punt with no return.
Wow. Yeah, and I don't understand that call.
I don't either.
So you call the timeout to kind of get your punt return unit set, but you don't have a guy back there, and then you don't dial up a block. So I thought, they're making – they're not having a kick returner because they're really trying to bring extra pressure, bring some sort of block, and they just kind of stand there.
Well, I think maybe they're just looking for a fake there. It's 4th and 4, playoff game, just playing it safe. But that is an unusual sequence of events.
Well, we have reached the end of the third quarter. We better sneak in a break here. 14-13 your score. Vipers trail. 12 minutes left in the season for one of these two teams. We'll take a break and see how it turns out. Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
When you buy or sell a piece of property, it helps to have a friend in the business. Independence Title will pick up the ball on your transaction and take it right across the goal line. Independence is locally owned right here in Austin with deep roots in the Vandegrift community. Independence is also the Austin Business Journal's #1 title company. Work with the home team at Independence Title. Call 329-5299 or go to independencetitle.com.
Thank you to our sponsor, Wayne Weigelt State Farm Insurance Agency, providing insurance and financial services. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Please visit www.agentwayne.com for all your insurance and financial service needs.
Family time, anytime. Always worth every dime. On our ways, chicken eat. Unbelievable, sweet tea. Express tenders, they're the best. Not to mention all the rest. Chicken E's the place to go for all of us in the know. Plenty of size to make a meal. Chicken E is for real. Follow me to Chicken E. Gotta have their sweet tea.
If you or your Vandegrift athlete have suffered an orthopedic injury or have joint pain, let Dr. Matthew Crawford and his team at Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine take care of you. Dr. Crawford specializes in diagnosis and treatment of sports-related injuries with an emphasis on injury prevention and conservative treatments. He and his team offer cutting-edge arthroscopic and minimally invasive surgical techniques. Visit them today at austin-orthopedics.com. Let Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine keep you at the top of your game.
And we welcome you back to Monroe Memorial Stadium. Merle, Hank, Matt with you here. Brian Spiel's down the sidelines. Christina Weber-Bertrand keeping an ear out for our broadcast. 14-13 as the fourth quarter getting ready to get underway. Westlake with the football going from right to left now with a gusting breeze at their back at their own 21-yard line. Trips wide right, one to the near side. Viper defense trying to make the stand. It's going to be Weiss up left tackle, and he's going to be out the 28-yard line. Took a shot at the 28. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 3.
Brady Cernick brought the wood that time and saw another violent collision there. Matt Sanders called it right from the very beginning.
2nd and 4 here for the Chaps, and getting ready for this next play.
Ball spot at the 28-yard line. 2 receivers wide right, one to the near side for Weiss. Handoff up the middle, stacked up at the 30 and managed to fall forward to about the 32. I think it's going to be enough for a 1st down. Hard running there for the sophomore, Jaron Lopez.
I've been so impressed with this sophomore running back tonight. I mean, he looks quick, twitchy, and violent on his runs. Just a sophomore, and they have number 38, Sebastian Hanol, who's been towing the rock, but this number 6 has some burst to him.
Trips wide right again. First and 10 at the 32-yard line. Weiss dropping back. Pressure coming up the middle. Flushes him to the left. He has to throw that ball away. Good pressure.
A great pressure. Thomas Foote coming up the middle that time. Vipers dialing up another blitz and really doing a good job getting to Weiss in the backfield. Another strange matchup. Speaking of strange first-round playoff matchups, Cedar Park against Tyler in a Bidistrict game?
Yes.
That's
very strange, That's a long way.
300 and something miles away.
2nd and 10 from the 32-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, one to the near side for Weiss. Hand off around the right side up to the 35 to the 40. Head of steam, spins across the 45 to the 50 in the Viper territory at the 46. Hard running there by Chase Broadhead, another sophomore running back.
They do a great job there of getting him moving in space on the motion, full speed, and great blocking downfield by the wide receivers. And the Viper defense just couldn't get off the blocks in time to stop him as he spins forward for a nice gain.
Hand off up the middle again, and another big seam. They found something inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. It was still on his feet. They're going to give him that extra progress down to the 36-yard line and a 1st down. That time it was Lopez again on the carry.
Westlake running with some tempo here and really starting to see the Westlake offensive machine starting to roll.
Yeah, Viper defense has to start swarming to the football again and finishing their tackles here. Let a lot of extra yards kind of after the first contact. Clock drive.
Coming up on the 10-minute mark. 1-point game for now, but Westlake is on the move. 1 receiver right, 2 to the near side. Weiss Hand off right side. There we go. Nice penetration and stacking that up for no gain. 3 or 4 Vipers there on the stop, trying to see who the first man was that got in. I think it was Thomas Foote.
Thomas Foote, the big H. DV was in there as well. Guevara Vasquez. The big-time players are making big-time plays in a big-time game.
It's time. Second down and 10 from the 36. One receiver right, one to the near side. Now they put a man in motion, so they got 2 here to the near side. Low snap, handoff up the middle, tripped up and stacked up for no gain. Big third down coming up here from the 36-yard line.
Coach Sanders saw something, changed the call last second after that motion. And every single time they're getting those late defensive calls in, they are just crushing this run game. So
That's
now
number 39, Luke Davis, another sophomore, making that stop. Another of the linebacking crew. Vipers got him in a 3rd and long. This is a big play right here.
Chance to get this offense off the field that's been rolling so far this drive.
One receiver right, trips to the near side. Weiss dropping back. Pressure coming from the edge. Picked up. Now fires left side and caught. Tripped up inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line. There he is again, Jack Newhouse.
Such a difficult matchup there to guard a guy who's 6'5". Does a good job with his body position there and just screens the Viper defensive back long enough to make the catch.
First down at the 13-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Stacked up again. Stuffed. With the second push, will get it down to the 12. A harder yard there for Lopez. On the flag comes down.
Unnecessary roughness on the. Looks like the right tackle for Westlake being a little too.
Well, that'll be a big 15-yard penalty.
Yes, I'll tell you what. I mean, there's another example, Matt Sanders, of what you talked about from the onset. I mean, extremely violent at the point of attack. We're seeing some epic one-on-one battles in the trenches. I mean, even as a neutral, you've got to appreciate what's going on inside of the trenches. This is just a really physical and tough football game. Fun to watch.
Yeah, and I'm all for pancake blocks as much as everybody else, but right there, a little extra shove after the whistle in front of the referee, you just can't do that. So I think that's the right call.
Well, no question. Not only did he shove him, he jumped on top of him.
Yes, yeah, late after the play.
Yeah.
So
it looks like it's going to remain first down, however, according to the yard marker across the way.
So it's going to be looks like it's going to be a spot foul, and it looked like they're saying it happened during the play. So first down.
Yeah, what do we got here? Timeout whistles blow.
I don't think Vandegrift called a timeout. Looks like
timeout.
Coach Sanders was in the middle of signaling his defense. So let's see what's going on
Just
here.
One of these television timeouts, perhaps. That'd be inopportune.
Well, while they sort that out, Stephen and Barbara Springer, who tuned in again from Salado. I want to give a shout out to Matt. Go Vipers.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, this is, man, what a third down throw by Wise, withering pressure in his face. And that's one of the opportunities, Vandegrift takes and picks and chooses when they're going to bring extra guys and leave man coverage in the back end because they, normally like to run a zone coverage a lot of the time in this defense. And, man, they leave it in man, and the pressure just doesn't get there. It just doesn't get there in time. When you give a QB too much time like that to find his number one wide receiver, Newhouse, and, man, I mean.
Such a difficult matchup.
I mean, he's a mismatch on any defensive back. He's a foot taller than everyone we've got on the field. So I don't know how you miss a throw when that guy is streaking down the middle.
It is second down. They changed it.
Okay, there we go. So I guess it was a spot foul after the play. So I guess that was a stoppage. Figure that out.
So second and 25 from the 28-yard line. Play action, looking, trying to say, and that's got to be grounding.
That's got to be intentional grounding.
Where's the LeVar Vasquez in the face of Wise, and he just threw it on the ground.
Oh,
how was that not grounding? It went about 5 yards straight into the turf. They're going to talk about it here.
That's got to be intentional grounding.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that they have an argument for here is he was like, there is the receiver in the vicinity. And that's kind of where those calls get. But he was in the tackle box, threw it right in the dirt at his feet.
Right.
We know what Coach Sanders thinks.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think it was enough to warrant that he was trying to throw it to
not the way he threw it.
There
it is.
Flag.
And that's going to be a loss of down, so you're going to be third and a country mile for the first down. So
if you throw it like you're trying to complete a pass, that's one thing. He just spiked it into the ground.
That's exactly right, Merle Bertrand. I mean, he made no attempt to complete that. We got the Westlake coach, Tony Salazar. He's made it all the way out to the hash mark. When you see a head coach come out that far, they are not happy.
Well, season's on the line. 8 minutes and 23 seconds left for somebody.
So third and what
20,
is this?
Be 30?
30? Third and 30.
Yeah.
We'll just call it that. Third and forever. as no, they're backing up even more. Okay, it's third and I don't even know.
Third 30. They haven't decided yet.
Okay, there it is. Yeah,
they put it at the 35-yard line. They can pick up the first down at the 3, so
Right.
3rd and 32.
So the Viper defense here, as a defense that has, on these long third downs, they have been, sometimes busting the back end. But I'm assuming 30 yards. Let's get off the field here, D. This is a great opportunity.
Weiss in the shotgun. Now, the other thing, keep in mind, with the wind blowing, they get close enough to make a field goal here and get it a 4-point game. That's huge. So 3rd down and 32 from the 35-yard line. Weiss dropping back. Pass over the center of the field. Oh, almost intercepted.
I prefer that he doesn't catch that.
I do too, actually.
That's a really good point, Matt Sanders. Tobias Gray had a chance to pick that one off. I mean, if he didn't intentionally bat it down, it may be fortuitous that he didn't catch it. I mean, it's...
Especially because he would have fallen right there and would have pinned him down. So instead of 4th down now, are they going to punt or try a long field goal? It would be a 52-yarder from here.
52-yarder.
I just think this range would be crazy if they attempt to kick.
Looks like they are going to punt it.
Punt, yes. So I think, we've seen kickers get better and better at the high school level, but even a 50-yarder would be ridiculous. So
Barley's got a long of 54, but it looks like he is going to punt it here. Takes a snap, angles towards the far sideline, and that's going to bounce and going to be downed at about the 1-yard line if they controlled it, and they did. Executed perfectly by the Westlake Chaps.
What a great punt there.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the ball, it didn't turn over, and you get the perfect bounce. It bounces straight up in the air. I mean, you would think that's an accident, but I'm pretty sure they practice that way. So, but extremely difficult to execute. So full credit to Westlake for great special teams play.
So the good news is you got the ball back. The bad news is you got it on your own one going against the teeth of a pretty stiff breeze now.
Yeah, you are starting at inside. I don't even know if they're at the one. I think maybe right there.
Yeah.
And this is one of those situations where, okay, no holding.
Right.
Let's just get some space here. That's your goal.
Teodecki up under center. Hand off to Moore, and he just does get out of the end zone. No gain in the play. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, they're going to give him forward progress.
Yeah, they're going to give him forward progress.
And this is why it's so hard, where it's like, man, you just get a great stop right there on defense.
Yeah.
But because of the punt, this is how big field position is. On the one, your playbook is just so limited that, man, you need to just try and get out of here. Almost getting any sort of space would be a win.
Brown, 7 yards deep in zone, end zone, back in the ball game, standing on top of the S of LISD. Teodecki remains under center, 2nd and 10 from the 1-yard line. Quarterback push just to get a yard or two. Gets 1, so 3rd and 8.
Tough sledding down there for the Vipers. Really backed up into a precarious spot.
Yeah, the Chaps know what the Vipers are going to do here.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of opportunity here to throw the football. It's just really risky. So they're going to try and run. And so they're just loading the box. It looks like there's almost 11 players in the box for the Chaps defense. And
roll the dice, hook and ladder. Catch them off guard.
Open here. And looks like we've got 2 wide receivers out wide. So maybe a passing down as we drop back in shotgun.
3rd down and 8 from the 2. Teodecki 5 yards deep in his own end zone, dropping back, looking. And swings it out right side off the fingertips, incomplete. Tried to get it to Ontario Jackman. He had been trying to run before he had it tucked away. And now a dangerous situation here for Wiley Olson. His heels would be on the end line. He's going to have to punt it into the teeth of the breeze.
And that was a lot of grass out of Jackman there if he was able to hang on. Really nice block on the edge there, but unfortunately drops it. And, you got to – Olson is a great punter, so that, you have faith in him back here, but got to have a good snap. You don't have as much room back there right on the end line.
The Westlake figures to get it back in great field position and the best case scenario. The return man standing at about the 38-yard line. Good snap back, pressure coming. Olson gets it out, a low end over end kick. Lands at the 30 and bounces backwards. It's going to be down right there at the 29-yard line. So that punt only went about 27 yards into the stiff breeze, and the Viper defense going to be called on to at least keep it to a field goal.
6 minutes, 39 seconds left in this 4th quarter, and that's just the emphasis on special teams. Both these teams have such good special teams units. And when you get a punt like that down inside your own at the 1-yard line, it is so impossible to get out of there. So the Viper offense just couldn't find anything. have to punt, and the defense feels like we blinked, and they're already back out there 1st and 10 for the Chaps on the 30.
Forced a couple of turnovers tonight, almost had a couple more. Can they come up with something again? 1st and 10, Westlake at the Viper 30 officially. Reese going to keep it himself up the middle. Big hole inside the 25, inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, 1st down Westlake.
Reese does such a good job carrying that fake out. He rides the running back for a long time, pulls it late. Really difficult to defend there for a quarterback who can execute that mesh at a high level of sophistication.
Knee touchdown at the 20, so 1st and 10 from the 20. Handoff left side, inside the 15, inside the 10, and down to the 8-yard line. Jaron Lopez on the carry once again, and Westlake in 2 plays well inside the red zone at the Viper 8, 1st and goal.
Really nice run there by number 6, Jaron Lopez. He has so much burst coming out of this backfield. And the O-line for the Chaps right now are pushing this front around.
Lopez again. To the right side this time, inside the 5, digging towards the goal line. Not quite going to get there, but man, that was some power there. The Vipers had him at the line of scrimmage, and he still picked up 4 yards.
Yeah, power and balance as he's tripped up, able to recover and run forward. And he's getting the whole lion's share of the carries in the second half because he's just been so efficient.
I mean, he's only a sophomore. That is just outrageous.
2nd and goal from the 2. Now the shift, 2 receivers to the left on the double tight end left side. Weiss going to take it himself, and he is not going to get there. 3rd down.
Another violent collision. Rohan Sturgeon's in there. Thomas Foote. I mean, my goodness.
3rd and 2.
We're seeing some physical football. I mean, this is absolutely riveting in terms of the spectator aspect. I mean, the way these two teams are going at each other, it is an absolute slugfest.
Generous spot here, as they said he got back to the line again after that.
3rd and goal from the 2. They shift the formation again. Viper fans making noise. Weiss, handoff up the middle, and he did not get there.
He didn't get there.
4th down. So now Westlake, what do? Do you take the 3?
Wow, this is interesting. What is head coach Tony Salazar going to do in this situation?
His 4th year to taking over for Coach Dodge.
It's 4th down, and that's a long 2 or 3 yards. I mean, surely they're going to kick a field goal here.
I think because of the situation, like, hey, you just stopped them inside the 1, like their offense, Viper offense didn't do anything. So they say, okay, if we turn over on downs here, it's fine. We're still up 1. They're going to go.
Come on, Vipers D.
4th down to goal from the 2. 4:14 and counting to go. Weiss going to take it left side. Tripped up.
He did not get in. Another stop for the Vipers. Stop. Absolutely astounding. How do they continue to do it, Matt Sanders?
But to your point, they got it the 1 again.
There we go. Wise gets up, defeated after he just gets stopped on the inch line. And man, the Viper offense has another tough bout here to try and dig it out. This is where, okay, we try to plot away in the run game. We have to have something to get an explosive play and get us out of the situation. Yeah. I think on 1st down, you try and do the safe play, and then you got to have something in your back pocket on the 2nd. And maybe, a quick little hitter, maybe a little a swing pass, some sort of end around, something.
Right.
Nothing too risky, but you need to get somebody in space here to get out of this end zone. 4 minutes left. Like, there's not a lot of this game left. 4 minutes left in this 4th quarter. Vipers still down 1. The offense has to get a drive here.
In the backfield is Ryan Brar, the junior running back. With Teodecki in the shotgun, Brar's in the pistol behind him. 1st and 10 from their own 1-yard line. Play action. Pass, left side, trying to get to Chilton.
It's a flag.
Chilton caught it. I think he caught it at the 38-yard line.
You have got to
He did. He caught it in double coverage.
He was there's interference on the play. Unbelievable.
Guys draping all over him. Vipers going fast.
1st and 10 to the 39-yard line. Vipers get set. Handoff up the middle. Out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Gain of a yard or 2. 2nd down and 8 coming up.
Whew. I mean, can we talk about that grab by Chilton?
I mean, man. Magic. Absolutely magic. I don't know how he came up with that football.
EB's hanging on him like he's his jacket or something. Won't get off his shoulders. Brings it in. And that is what you need on the 1st down.
That's right. You called it.
Go the play action, and they have a little shot play while the whole defense is out for the run. Find your wide receiver in a 1-on-1 matchup. Really nice play.
2nd and 8 from the 41. Teodecki dropping back, looking, dumps it off underneath, complete here on the edge of the 45, and to the 50 and out of bounds. Brock Chilton again. That'll be a first down Vandegrift at the 50-yard line. Remember, you don't need 7, you just need 3.
There's that man again, Brock Chilton. I mean, in big games, you need your best players to step up and make big plays, and no bigger play tonight in this football game than that reception by Brock Chilton. What an amazing catch.
Man.
And I think as an offense, this is a hard decision here. 3 minutes left, still the 2-minute timeout. Westlake only has 2 timeouts, so you want to try and be the last team to touch the football, so not in too much of a hurry here.
Hand off Brown up the middle and stacked up right there. No gain in the play, 2nd down and 10. That interior defense, that time was Mason Laster, the senior linebacker, plugging up the hole, 2nd and 10.
What a football game. Vipers down by 1 point, 14-13. Westlake Chaparral's lead with 2:56 and counting.
1 receiver left, 2 to the near side. Now they flip the formation and put the 2 receivers over on the left to join Chilton. So 3 out there wide left. Ball in the near half, 2nd and 10 from the 50. Hard snap count. Chaps stay home. Teodecki dropping back. Flushed out of the pocket. Rolls to his right. Being pursued. Back to his left. And fires it over here to the right side. Incomplete. Nice job getting rid of that football to save save the ball and live to fight another day. He had Arnav Sagi in the neighborhood.
Well, it's 3rd down and long here.
2 minutes
and I think you've got 2 plays. You've got to you got to dial up 2 plays here to try and get your first down, because with 2:32 remaining,
got to go by in a blink of an eye. 3rd and 10 from the 50-yard stripe. 2 receivers left, 1 to the near side. Brown in the backfield with Teodecki. Teodecki dropping back. They pick up the blitz. Pass left side, and it's intercepted. 35-40. Knocked out of bounds by Thomas Beekler, but Westlake will get it back at the 45-yard line with 2:25 to go. That one just sailed on him, it looked like.
Yeah, I think you're right, Merle, and Westlake comes up with the turnover of their own. 2:25 remaining.
Boy, Viper's first turnover of the night. It could not have come at a worse time.
That's a bit of a dagger right there. You do have all 3 timeouts remaining, so you got to hope for a quick 3 and out here.
Yep.
A lot of pressure on this Viper defense all night, and they have responded. Let's see if they can come up big again.
On the right side, you have the 2-minute timeout still.
Yep.
And you have all 3 timeouts. So the Vipers need to stop, get the ball back to their offense here. Down 1, 14-13, 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in this game.
Weiss in the shotgun, 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Handoff, left side, cutting it back up. Not much there, maybe a yard or 2. 2nd down and 8 coming up.
That sophomore, number 23, Cole Stevens, is absolutely a maniac out there. We have called his name so many times. He's there first again.
Benito helping out. It was Lopez on the carry. His helmet came off, so he has to come out of the game for a play, but the clock ticks down here. It should tick down to the 2-minute timeout. Westlake will not run a play here. The clock will tick down to the 2-minute timeout. 14-13, Chaps on top. 2nd down and 8.
What a game.
What a game.
Well, we're international again, Merle. We just heard from Patrick Mulcahy. He's the father, along with his wife Joanne, to number 28 on the roster, James Mulcahy. Patrick's brother is listening from Ireland. So
very cool.
Hello to Paul Mulcahy in Ireland. Glad you're a Viper fan.
Very cool. Whew, 2nd down and 8. This one has been tension-filled since the opening kickoff.
Yeah, and this is, we talked about it. Low-scoring defensive affair. Well, we kind of predicted before this game happened, and every point matters. Right now it's looking like it's boiling down to this 1 point. And Vipers have an opportunity, still 3 timeouts, 2nd down, to get a stop here and then get the ball back to their offense. But the Viper offense then has to march down the field. And then,
that's right.
But it is a 1 point game. If you get a stop, all you need is a field goal from Olsen. So,
well, I tell you what. I will put my money right now on Riley Olsen. The guy has just absolutely been money all season long, and all we need is a chance. So you got to get the Chaps off the field.
You probably have to get a little closer with the wind the way it is, but still, you don't need to take it all the way in. But That big thing. You got to get them off the field and save some time to work with. That makes this second down play all the more important. If they pick up the first down or make it 3rd and 1 and then pick up the first down, it gets really difficult really fast.
Big play coming up right here. So, man, what a game. I mean, this has been action-packed, tense, drama, swings of momentum, back and forth. I mean, this is everything you want in a high school football playoff game. Just absolutely a beautiful night. Two top-notch programs going at each other head-to-head. I mean, this has been an absolute epic battle. What a fun game to watch. Just need a little bit of help. The Vipers' defense needs to step up again. I mean, this is quite a game.
This defense has been playing lights out tonight. You know, especially
Yeah.
in the second half, getting so many turnovers, giving their offense so many opportunities, and the Westlake defense has also played really good tonight. And so it's just been one of those games where both offenses that are normally really high-powered kind of just shut down as they come into a really tough battle. This reminds me a lot of the Lake Travis game
I was just thinking
2 years
that.
ago,
Yeah.
you know, where it came down to 3 points or whatever it was. And so the Vipers 2nd and 8 here need to stop.
From the 47-yard line, Westlake's own 47. Quarterback draw, Reese hit hard by HDB, and he's going to be knocked down for just a couple yards gain. 3rd and 5 from the 50. Viper timeout.
Man, what a collision.
That was a collision.
Vipers came to play tonight on defense. I mean, what a supreme effort by this defensive unit. And, you know, also the offensive line. I mean, this has just been a hard-nosed football game against a really good opponent. I mean, you know, full credit to the Westlake Chaparrals and the Vipers that came to play tonight. And, I mean, you've got to love the intensity, and you've got to love the commitment and the passion and what the Vipers are doing right now.
Well, the winner gets the winner of Brandeis and Sotomayor. Brandeis has stormed back. They lead at 28-25 in the 4th quarter. After spotting Sotomayor, 24-0 lead.
Wow.
28 unanswered points for Brandeis. That's crazy. I wonder if that was correctly updated when we checked the score. But
I wonder,
What is going on with Max Preps? Did we have? Is there a better score on the Lake Travis Round Rock?
I don't know, actually. I haven't had a chance to look.
But 3rd and 5. You stop the clock here, 1 minute and 57 seconds left. We talk about how Wise, he gets hit so hard, but he's such a big body, he still falls forward for 3 yards there.
Yes. And
so 3rd and 5. For the season, you need to stop here.
You do, because they probably wouldn't go for it on 4th down.
You have to believe Westlake's going to run the football here. You got to keep the clock running. You got a quarterback who's essentially another running back. Big play for the Vipers.
3rd and 5 from the 50-yard stripe. Weiss in the shotgun. Receiver coming in motion. Weiss dropping back, looking in trouble.
Got it!
Sack back at the 43-yard line.
Parker Davis.
Timeout. There's your timeout.
Parker Davis came in from the outside like he was shot out of a gun. Matt Sanders, what a big stop for the Vipers. The defense does it again.
Just when you need them, they show up big. What a pressure drawn up by the mastermind, Coach Sanders. Gets the sack in there.
Yep.
I mean, 3 guys came at the quarterback untouched. I don't know if they were trying to set up a little tunnel screen or
That
what.
could have been,
what they were trying to do, but they just get there so fast. Wise is not expecting it, so now it's 4th and 11, and this is out of the realm of possibility to go for it because if you obviously this is passing down.
Yep.
You throw an incomplete pass here, you give the ball to the Vipers.
With
already
almost 2
past
minutes to
50,
go.
With 2 minutes to go, and a great kicker that has only missed 1 kick all year long. So it's just, you're going to see the Chaps punting unit come out here because they're going to try and pin the Vipers deep one last time and put the burden of this offense to go win the game because they've had a hard, it's been tough sledding so far in the second half.
Nolan Barley averaging 41.3 yards per punt. Brock Chilton.
And who else
back
would you
to
want
return?
Back? Who
exactly.
else would you else want back there to return the kick? The number 1, Brock Chilton.
Chilton on the season, averaging 7.4 yards on punt return, but we'll see how this one goes. I'll take a snap over his head. Nope, it's a good snap. And a pretty good punt, end over end. Chilton fields it at the 13, to the 15, and out to the 22-yard line. Good coverage there by Westlake, because if they don't make that stop, good play there by Colin McClune. If he doesn't make that stop, Chilton had a lot of room on the near side.
Yeah.
Well, here you go. I mean, you've got to get, you need to get to about, the 30, maybe the 28, 25-yard line?
Yeah, just to give him a shot with the wind in his face.
To be confident with how this wind's blowing, I would say about the 25-yard line's your target there at least.
Minute 44, you've got one timeout remaining. Wow, what a game.
Jackie, after kind of, into the wind, throwing not his best pass, was an interception, has a chance to redeem himself here 1 minute and 44 seconds left and lead this offense to a win.
Ball at the Viper 22 on the near hash, going left to right. Teodecki dropping back. Pocket breaks down, rolling. Now he's going to tuck it under and scamper out of bounds at about the 27. Picks up 5 yards. That's all right. 1:39 to go.
Good decision there. Picks up 5, runs out of bounds, stops the clock.
Yep.
Nobody really open deep.
You'll take that, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Get this offense moving. 2nd and 5. 1 minute and 39 seconds remaining. Vipers are at the 27-yard line.
2 receivers left, 2 to the near side. Teodecki again in the shotgun. And whistles blow. What do we got? Procedure going to be called on the Vipers.
That's a dagger.
And that just wipes away. The Wipes away.
Looks like we had Leinenberger in motion. Maybe he started upfield too soon. I'm not sure.
Well, that'll push it back near the original line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 10 now back at the 22. 1:36 showing on the clock. 2 receivers left, 2 to the near side. There you go. We're getting to give it back the other way. The left defensive end jumped, and you've been talking about all year, Matt. The right tackle for Vandegrift reached out and touched him.
We got
tag. You're it.
Yeah,
three different officials threw flags on that play, so hopefully they get it right.
That should be on Westlake.
Yep.
Get it back. Yep. Because as soon as you make contact there, that's a really heads-up play by number 77, Carter Mannon.
Not only is he a destroyer of rules blocking, but he's also a really smart football player.
Yeah.
I mean, those offensive linemen, you gotta love them.
Yeah. So there you go, right back.
Right back at the 27. 2nd and 5. Brown in the backfield. Teodecki dropping back. Pass. Going for it all over the center of the field. Caught by Jackman at the 40 down to the 39-yard line.
Got to go fast.
Yep, you do.
Unbelievable throw and catch right there.
Jackman's hurt. He's trying to get off the field. He's hurt. Vipers don't want to burn the timeout, but they might have to.
No, there's a Westlake player, so they're going to take an injury timeout here.
What a catch by Jackman in traffic. You can see the wind hold that football up.
I agree, Merle Bertrand. I mean, it looked very dangerous in terms of the trajectory of the football and all those Westlake defenders. They're like a cover 4 back there.
Yeah,
Jackman finds a space in there and just goes and gets the football, and Vipers are in position A right now with 1:29 left. You're on the 40-yard line.
Yeah.
You need about 15 more yards
to give a shot.
So,
oh, my gosh.
Man,
I can't take
it. Couldn't come in a better spot. That's one of those plays where I'm glad I don't have to work the camera because Teodecki sits back, and there's literally I'm pretty sure it was almost all verts. And there's about 4 wide receivers running verts. There's about 6 or 5 Westlake DBs in the area, and I'm like, I don't know who this ball is going to. Just please, a Viper come down with it. And Jackman makes an athletic play, plucks it out of the air, gets wrapped up on the tackle, and I think that's why number 12 that's Hayes Broadhead, the senior DB for Westlake, gets tangled up, and he looks like he's kind of.
Boy, it's just, you're exactly right, Matt Sanders. I think it's all go. So all verts means everybody's running a go route straight down the field. Westlake had 4 defensive backs deep.
Yeah, and I love the little wrinkle. They do a fake look to get Westlake kind of caught on their heels there and snap the football.
First down at the 40 after the injury timeout. Straight ahead hand up to Brown, and he's going to push it down to about the 36. Gain of 38. So gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
Clock
1:19 to go. Clock is running. Jackman is still in the ball game, by the way. He's lined up in the right slot. 2 receivers either side. Teodecki dropping back. Flush rolling to his right. And fires over to the right side. Did he make the catch?
He caught it. He caught it.
Great catch.
The beak. Number 5, Thomas Beekler. Does an absolute tightrope act on the sidelines. I think that would have been good in the NFL. I think he got both feet down.
Both feet in. Out of bounds. Stops the clock.
1:04 to go at the 26-yard line. Swing pass, left side of the edge of Chilton. Makes the first man miss. Cuts to the inside. Still on his feet inside the 20 to the 19-yard line.
How does Chilton continue to do that? He's made big play after big play tonight. Vipers are in position A
50
again.
seconds left. All they need is a field goal to win the game. Down 1.
Yep, take care of the football. Got 1 timeout remaining. Clock ticking, 44 seconds. They get into formation. Brown to the left side of Teodecki, 38 seconds. Draw play, Brown, right in the center of the field, the 20-yard line. 3rd down coming up. Clock moving, 30 seconds.
Westlake's got 2 timeouts remaining, and I don't think they're going to use them.
I'm kind of surprised.
I am too.
20 seconds. Got to watch this clock here. Third down, 15 seconds. Now Westlake making the late substitution. Got to be careful. They're burning the clock. 10 seconds, 8 seconds, 5 seconds. Go down, call a timeout. Timeout. 2, 1. Did they get the timeout? I think they did.
They got it off.
Wow.
They're celebrating.
Well,
like they
here
won
you
the
go.
Game, but the timeout
This is
comes in.
it. The referees waited for a timeout while there was still time on the clock. So there we go.
All right, 3 seconds. Vipers will get their chance. The ball is at the 15, 19-yard line. A 36-yard field goal attempt for the season.
And they're set up right down the middle.
This is a defining moment in Vipers history.
Yep.
I mean, what
Never
a
beat
football
Westlake.
game. What a football game. You know, the Vipers just absolutely exceeded expectations tonight. Man, you want this kick to go in. I'm not sure if I can watch.
Yeah. Well, I guess it is as dramatic as a kick against Katy. I mean, this is for your
so.
season right
This
here.
is for your season.
It might be the first round, but it's the end of the season if it doesn't go through.
And this is one of those regions where this will be the hardest game for a couple weeks.
That's
because
right.
of how good this Westlake team is.
Right.
So this feels like a late playoff game, but it's just week 1 at home. And now Olsen gets a chance.
34 yards, Merle?
It would be 1929, 36-yarder.
36
So
yards.
Wiley Olsen, ball between the hashes, wind in his face out of the hold of Lawson Lombard. From 36 yards out for the chance to move on. See if Westlake calls a timeout. Good snap, good hold. Kick is on its way. It is good!
Yes! Vipers win!
Unbelievable! 6.
Absolutely astounding, extraordinary. What can you say? The Westlake fans are in stunned silence. What a defining moment in Vipers history. The Vipers do it again.
Oh, my goodness. And that is Wiley Olsen. You call him the weapon for a reason. What a kicker. So special for this team. He's in shock right there. He doesn't know how to react. His teammates celebrating with him. And can you write a better ending to this game?
Man,
16 wins 16-14. Knock off the Chaps for the first time in history and survive the first round of the 6A Texas football playoff.
I tell you what, that
Electric.
kick went up, and it looked like throwing a frisbee to yourself. It was pushing to the left with that wind, and until those arms went up on the official, I didn't know.
I cannot believe it.
I need to get my heart rate checked or
What,
something. I'm getting
what
old up here.
a football game. What a performance by your Vipers. I mean, this is absolutely one of the biggest moments in Viper program history. You beat the Westlake Chaps for the first time.
That's right.
I mean, big time. You survive, you advance, Matt Sanders, going into a second round of the playoffs where you're going to be favored against one of the teams from San Antonio.
Yeah.
This is a big moment in Viper program history.
And what a drive. And you said it, Matt. Miles Tiadeki, chance to redeem himself after the interception. He came out in the field and engineered a game-winning drive.
And that's why how elite he's been his whole career here at the Vipers. Why he won a state title last year. When it comes, push comes to shove, that interception was like caught in the wind, and it was a little bit uncharacteristic of him to throw a pass like that. So that's why I was like, man, I was a little bit stunned that happened, but the defense does a great job. Let's talk about the defensive stop.
Yes.
Get with great pressure
Which
drawn up by the
defensive
coach.
stop?
I know which one.
Let's go to the last one that gets them in that 4th and long and forces them to punt, gets the ball back to their offense, and Tiadeki, with a chance to redeem himself, shows why he is an elite quarterback. Takes the offense, puts it on his back, delivers a dime to Ontario Jackman. What a catch. It gets him in right there, and as soon as they deliver that pass, I've had a pretty good feeling that we would get in field goal range.
Yeah.
Just when you think you've seen it all from the Vandegrift Vipers, they deliver yet another magic moment. I mean, what a season. I mean, you come off of a game where you return a kick, a blocked field goal in overtime to win the game, and then you pull off this, a last-second field goal to win against the storied Westlake Chaparrals. What a moment for Vandegrift.
And you look at the Westlake players, they are just stunned down on the field. They don't know what happened just now.
And I think it's one of those games where we talked about it. Both teams know how good the other team is. They knew it was going to be a dogfight coming to this game. And look at that score, 16-14. It was not pretty.
No.
And it was a physical game, defensive game. But the Vipers, I'll take their chances in a game like that with this defensive unit any day. And it doesn't matter if you win by 1 or 2 points like tonight. You win in advance.
Home, and the defense comes up yet again with a big stop. I mean, it's just amazing this season. I mean, but they've been doing it. We've seen goal line stands before, but I mean, what we saw tonight, I mean, just an amazing twist of events. I am absolutely flabbergasted.
One of my favorite plays tonight was that last goal line stand there where they stop Wise on the inch line.
Yes.
That's just an effort play by that defense. And that sets up the whole.
For taking care of the football, you create 3 turnovers. You get 2 turnovers on downs. For taking care of the football, you create 3 turnovers. You get 2 turnovers on downs. You got 1 in the first half, 1 in the second half on the 1-yard line. And then what a got 1 in the first half, 1 in the second half on the 1-yard line. And then what a miraculous completion to Jackman. I mean, I think all 3 of us thought that ball might get picked off.
I did too.
It hung up a bit, and he did it again. And I mean, in that situation, I have never felt so good about a field goal in my life. The guy is absolutely money.
Well, 16-14, Vipers win on a walk-off field goal. The internet let us get to the kick.
International in Lakeway makes shopping for your new flooring easy. Floor Coverings International carries a full assortment of flooring to fit the purpose of the room, your lifestyle, and budget. Locally owned by Kevin Temple and family, Floor Coverings International offers free in-home consultation with a design associate. At Floor Coverings International in Lakeway, our goal is making your home flooring project a positive and convenient customer experience. Visit us today in Lakeway or online at lakeway.floorcoveringsinternational.com.
So why don't you make it the best? Why not stop trying to fast forward your life and do the best you can on Monday? Like, I wake up, and I hope my players wake up and my coaches, like, man, today's practice is going to be the best practice I've ever been a part of. And after that, then when I'm hanging out with my family, tonight's dinner is going to be great. I'm so looking forward to Monday night's dinner with my family. Like, if you take this day-by-day mentality and treat each day as it's a gift from God, then you'll stop worrying about all the problems of the future. That'll be point 1. And you'll also not miss any.
Presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
And we welcome you back as we continue to battle the internet here. 16-14 Vipers with the win in the post game here. Hank is fiercely tabulating the stats. And the Vandegrift Vipers are going to move on to face the winner of Brandeis against Sotomayor. Brandeis clinging to a 35-32 fourth quarter lead. I don't know how much time is left in that one, but we'll try to see if we can get you a final of that one before we get off the air here. I saw something in our chat room here between Hutto and Bowie. Hutto and Bowie tied 21 in the fourth, a battle including injuries and fisticuffs.
Wow.
Is what the report says.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs.
I wish I was there to see some brawls. I love a good football brawl when all the team gets involved. Been in a few. Pretty fun.
I tell you what, the internet is as tired as we are. I've lowered this thing so low, it's probably one big blotch on the screen just to try to get it to hang on.
You just see the gray and the red.
It's
exactly, 2 pixels.
Yeah.
That's all you see.
So, but man, what a game! 16-14.
I mean, look, guys. There's only one Neil Armstrong, right? The first guy on the moon. There's only one Vandegrift team that gets the first program win over Westlake. This team goes down in the annals of Viper history. And Westlake had the ball 5 times in the second half. The first series, we get a fumble recovery. The second series, interception. The third series, they have to punt after 8 plays. The fourth series is the one where they go for it at 4th and goal on the Viper 3-yard line. We get a turnover on downs. And then we saw that amazing sequence of events where they get an unducked penalty 2-yard touchdown run by, or a 72-yard run followed by a 2-yard run by Sam Brown. I mean, there's so many moments, so many ups, downs, momentum shifts in this game. A classic. Instant classic.
Instant classic indeed, especially for the first round of the playoffs. There haven't been too many instant classics for the first round of the playoffs. And, you know, there was that big fear 3 years ago. The Vipers reached the state semifinal game, come up short, get knocked out here in the stadium by Lake Travis in a very similar ball game. go all the way to state next year, you're thinking, oh, my gosh, are we going to have whiplash again this year? And the Vipers refuse. Yep, we get to see you next week.
Oh, man, what
Awesome
a win.
job. Thank
What
you,
a
sir.
win.
Mr. Matt Sanders is going to go down and join his dad and his family down on the sidelines, and we're still battling the internet issues here. We're still waiting to hear from Brian Spiels. I'm sure the Coach Sanders has got, he sent it. Okay, so let me see if I can get to it here. The internet's so bad. We'll see if it'll even pop.
Make a sack the entire game. Make a sack the entire game.
That's amazing.
And he managed.
That's amazing.
And he managed to carry the ball 5 times for 19 yards in some really clutch situations. So there's just a lot of things that went, really well. Great decision making by Tiadeki. The senior quarterback does it again. And I mean, what can you say about number 1 quarterback does it again? And I mean, what can you say about number 1 Brock Chilton? I mean, that catch has to be one of the most unbelievable catches I've ever seen.
Beekler's catch.
Spectacular, pretty routine, but 3 crucial catches in a big time catch on third down on the Vipers' opening catch on third down. On the Vipers' opening drive that really kept them going. Also, we had, I think I'd maybe in the first catch of them for the season, number 48, Alex Boston. Caught a pass for 7 yards in a tied spot. I mean, caught a pass for 7 yards in a tied spot. I mean, just an amazing football game, Merle. I mean, just when you think you've seen it as loud as we heard tonight, I mean, it was absolutely raucous down there. And, I mean, I think the Westlake raucous down there. And, I think the Westlake there we
here
go.
With Vandegrift head coach Drew Sanders after a dramatic 16-14.
Yeah, right.
You got to be so proud of that win tonight.
I am, and how about Miles coming back? Miles is in pain, and he's pushing through it. And how about some of those throws tonight? And then some of those catches, Brock on Terrell that last drive, the run game, and then Wiley kicking the field goal. I mean, how much pressure is that? For the snapper, for the holder, for the kicker, all of it, and all of them did perfect.
Unbelievable.
I didn't even watch the field goal. I couldn't even watch the field goal. I had to watch the ground.
Remind me of an old 35-yarder against Katy.
The Vipers are in these situations. There has to be so many things that go right to get you to that point. I mean, you've got to have collectively a group of players that believe in fighting and playing until the very bitter end to be even in these situations. And then, we've had some heartbreaking moments. We lost to Westlake on that last-second field goal a few years ago. We, that Lake Travis playoff loss. But, I mean, my goodness. I mean, you talk about all of the unbelievable moments over the last several years. The Katy field goal kick. This one's right up there with that kick. I mean, this is a huge moment. It has just created a juggernaut in terms of mentality. The way that these guys continue to fight until the bitter end, that's the reason that these moments are happening. And, I mean, we are just absolutely blessed to be in, the spectator situation that we're in. I mean, it's amazing and inspirational what happens when you watch this Vipers football team.
Well, we're going to get out of here. The internet is dropping off and on, left and right. So if you're still out there and listening to us, thank you for that. We don't know why. I suspect final score now. Brandeis 35, Sotomayor 32. So the Vipers will face Brandeis next week, probably in San Marcos, maybe New Braunfels, maybe a coin flip. Maybe we'll get another game here. You don't know. But it doesn't matter. The Vipers win. They move on to round 2. So before we want to go, attention high school football fans, don't miss out on the opportunity to be a part of Texas football history. Mark your calendars for the UIL State Football Championship, December 17th through 20, 30 seconds at a time here. But we will wrap it up, and the Vipers will move on into the postseason. I'm not even going to do anything fancy here because the scoreboard speaks for itself. 16-14, Vipers with the win. First time Vandegrift has defeated Westlake in program history. More importantly, they live on to fight in the area round playoffs. Thank you to my partners Hank Hudson, Matt Sanders, Brian Spiel is down at the sidelines, Christina Weber-Bertrand, my better half, our Q8 tonight, putting up with the broadcast dropping off and on. And, of course, Kimberly Lombard of the Vandegrift Vipers Football Booster Club, and all the sponsors. We'll give them a little bit of love here while the stream is still going. Without them, we wouldn't be here. We'll probably be back on NFHS next week for pay-per-view video, but we're just going to enjoy this one tonight. My name is Merle Bertrand, signing out here from Monroe Memorial Stadium. Vipers with the win on a walk-off field goal by Wiley Olson by a final score of 16-14. 14. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you next time here on the Vype Live Network. Good night, everybody.
You've been watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network, presented by our Playmaker sponsors, Independence Title, Wayne Weigelt with State Farm, and Chicken Express at 4 Points. Vandegrift